There's been a lot of things going on, and finishing off the NFL mini camp season, I think we need to recap a few things. And obviously, you've seen the videos I make. Y'all know what I talk about. It's a lot of Shador Sanders. So we got a few topics that we're gonna hop into today on this nice live stream. Really enjoy y'all hanging out with me today. So first, obviously, gonna start with some Shador stuff. We got I got some receipts on Stephen A. Smith, how he was talking about Shedeur and how he was talking about Deion Sanders. We're gonna see if he's keeping it the same level that he did. We'll see. I'll let y'all be the judge of that. Maybe Stephen A. is actually keeping it consistent. ESPN recently talked about Shedeur. The common sentiment is that ESPN is really, or sorry, Shador Sanders rather, is exposing a lot of lies, right? And he's exposing a lot of things that I think were easy to just put on him because of some of the outward perceptions of him. But we're gonna get to, while we have this block before minicamp, we're gonna or before training camp, we're gonna get down to the bottom of some of those things, as well as talk about the #1 overall pick. Some people call him the least talked about #1 overall pick. I'm not sure if I believe all that, but we're going to continue to cover him. We're going to continue to give him praise and make that happen as well. And then finally, we're going to talk about Travis Hunter. That's not the last thing we're going to talk about. We'll talk about some other stuff too. We got plenty of foosball things to talk about. But yeah, it should be a nice time. Really appreciate y'all rocking with me if he is rocking with me. And let's get right into it. So we're going to start with Shador Sanders, like typical. Just want to make sure we're all good on this side before I get in the stream and really get going here. Oh, let me just double check one thing. All right, let's get it going. All right, so Shador Sanders has been doing a lot of things when it comes to rookie mini camp, and then of course Brown's mini camp and different things of that nature. And he's seemingly developed and grown. And something that's also developed and grown is a changing of narrative around Shador Sanders. Well, obviously, when the draft happened, a lot of people were saying he needed to be humbled. He was entitled. He was all these other things. But now it's even like ESPN is having a different tune, or are they? So today we're going to listen to Stephen A. Smith speak on Shador Sanders way back in the draft when everything first went down, and then we're going to come back and listen to them talk about Shedeur just recently. I think this is like a few days ago, or sorry, yesterday. And then after that, of course, we've got actual clips from Shedeur, some that we've gone over. But in all, I'm going to paint to you the picture, right? Show you that all of a sudden these anonymous rumors, right? Apparently they've got no legs, and every single person that interacts with them has phenomenal things to say. What about a dude just in the background? How about this? It's hard not to like that guy. Wow. That's just, hey, and apparently y'all didn't know who Shedeur was. So we're going to start with Stephen A. Smith. Is he exposing things? Is he doing things the right way? How did he feel about Deion and Shedeur as the draft happened?
Shador Sanders is not blameless here. Primetime Deion Sanders is not blameless here. I'm going to say what I have to say, knowing that both of them have their hands at least a little bit dirty in all of this. But if you're the National Football League, clearly it's not about talent anymore. It's about something else. And I'm going to tell you, I spent a large amount of the last 24 hours thinking about nothing more than I was thinking about collusion. Because how in the hell does 32 teams in the National Football League pass on a quarterback that was universally recognized one of the top 3 quarterbacks in the country entering this draft, and 32 teams passed on them? Not once, not twice, not 3 times, but 4 different times they passed on them. How the hell does that happen? 4 rounds. It doesn't happen to a quarterback. We've never seen anything like this before. We've seen guys drop because of injuries. We've seen guys drop because of off-field issues, but we've never seen a quarterback projected to be a top 20 pick, universally recognized one of the top 3 quarterbacks in the draft, projected to be a first rounder, in all likelihood a safe bet of a late first rounder, and drop literally to the 5th round. We haven't seen anything like that. And when you're talking about the owners, I'm going to keep in mind, and I tweeted about this, seems very Kaepernick-like, as in Colin Kaepernick.
Now, I have to disagree with the Kaepernick comparison. We're not going to get in too deep with that. But again, Shedeur has done nothing except prove people wrong, right? So, you know, while there's some things that I disagree with Stephen A. Smith, and we're going to get into his more recent comments, those comments are very telling when we get here. They're almost, was it prophetic? How do you say it? When we talk about, you know, predictive in a way. You know, the people who be predict oracles and stuff, they be predicting. That's so Raven. That's what it is. So for that type of, you know, when you look at it in hindsight with retrospective, it's like, wow, well, that's what we're seeing. That's what we're constantly seeing. We're seeing people say how much they enjoy being around Shador Sanders, how good of a teammate he is. They're talking about all the other things, right? All the other things except for the things that the narratives were painted. And Shador, I mean, not Shador, Stephen A. Smith. Too many S's. Y'all got to chill with these S names, boy. I can't even say sausage right. Anyway, to go in on Shador Sanders and speak a way that he's being covered by, what's his name? Stephen A. Smith. I have to give Stephen A. Smith some credit because he was there. Even, you know, he was there saying some of the things that we've been saying. So what has it had to be said after minicamp, after all the positive things that not only Shador Sanders has done on the field, but also off the field in the media? What do people have to say now? What does ESPN have to say? If it'll play, it won't play. It won't play. So before it plays, what we're going to do, because we're doing this live, son, we're going to let Shador Sanders tell you how he feels about playing, and then we're going to go into
as teammate and to be as polished as I can be. So in every aspect, I view things as I got time. I got time to be able to grow and mature, you know, and be able to understand the ins and outs of the defenses and be able to get the good insight from the vets in the room. So I look at it as, you know, a plus. Like I got time to actually be able to really have a great understanding. And whenever, you know, it's time for me to play, then it's time for me to play. But I'm not looking too far in the future about all that. I'm looking about every day in practice, because I had some misses out there today that, you know, we got to go in there and correct about Reeves getting in and out drops a little bit faster from under center. So that's the main thing. I'm focused on the small things, and over time, the big things will happen.
So that's where Shador Sanders focusing, and we talked about this in another video. Look, he's not just focused on improving. It's pretty cookie cutter. Hey, everybody's focused on improving. Everybody's focused on getting better. But when you take that next step, what he's really focused on is those small, intricate things, his dropbacks, his reads, those things that make him a pro, those things that his offensive coordinator, Tommy Rees, pointed out that he's excelling at when it comes to his preparation. So let's hear it from ESPN. Are they going to defend? How's it going to look? How we doing?
Crew of backups while the
How you doing,
other
Neville?
passers, Joe Flacco,
We're not live often, so
Dylan
appreciate
Gabriel
you hanging
have
out.
received first-team reps. Sanders, though, said he's
He means cap
unbothered
for the
by his
collusion,
practice reps and
not
instead
the
looking
actual
to take
aspect. It
advantage
only
of
requires
every
4 to 6 owners to
opportunity
collude.
he
Okay.
gets. Shedeur?
Mark Smith
It's
is
just
fair.
a mindset.
I gotta
just
talk
adjustment.
over
You gotta go
some of the
and,
music. My fault.
Understand the situation that you're in and be able to approach that and get the best out of it. You could view things as you're not getting reps in a negative way, or you could view it as, okay, when it's my time to get out there. So there's no excuses, because when you get out there, nobody cares how many reps you got. Whenever you get in the game, nobody cares if you took a snap before.
What's going on, Gore?
You know,
What's
like
going
they
on, Mark
care
Smith?
about.
I'm gonna get to y'all comments in just a second as well. Oh, they had a.
You got to be able to produce.
They were having
He's so right.
problems already.
Nobody does care. He said all the right things. Stephen A., Shedeur taking fewer reps, do you think that's a bad sign?
No, not at all. It's too early for all of that. He just arrived. He's a rookie. And by the way, while you're looking at him, you also want to see what Dylan Gabriel will bring to the table, along with others. Kenny Pickett is on this squad. He's relatively young, even though I don't think that he's the face of the franchise for the future. Okay, of course, Joe Flacco is an experience.
We'll take just a second. We're gonna, this is ESPN, so we got to be careful with it, and we are live. So I got to talk to my guys who are live that are also responding to some of these comments. So the first thing I want to talk about, shout out to my man Gore. The first thing I want to talk about and kind of address is you know, what Molly said. And I know Molly isn't often used as someone to kind of point at and say that she's making amazing insights, but you know, he's saying all the right things. And that, I don't mean to say that to patronize Shedeur. Again, if you've been watching Shedeur for a while, you know he's been saying the right things for a long time. He's been doing things the right way for a very long time. It's nothing new. But the fact that that's been pointed out, and the fact that so many people are you know, almost astounded, surprised by that happening. I think that's interesting to point out, interesting to talk about. And then on the backside, what Stephen A. Smith's about to get into, he talks about, hey, you got Kenny Pickett, you got Joe Flacco, January Joe, Massachusetts, is that where you went to? Legend, right? Like why or what is the need to like force Shedeur, especially if you're a fan of Shedeur? Why force him? Take your time. And that's how I felt. Like I've been, ever since he got drafted to the Browns, and I know the Browns aren't the situation, but ever since he's got drafted to the Browns, I've been the one to say like, hey, if you're here and you're in this loaded quarterback room, you're just going to make the team. He don't need the money. We've talked about this. He don't need NFL contracts. He got the NIL. On top of that, I think he was born with a few dollars to his name. I think he's going to be okay. So, hey, I don't got to get a bunch of money. I'm going to chill my little rookie contract. I might get traded. I'm going to make something happen and hopefully end up in a better situation altogether. So, again, I am doing this live. I don't always record my videos live, but I want to respond to some things. Gore is being hilarious. Shout out to you. Shout out to my guys for first time being live, Neville. Mark Smith said for the first video, he means collusion, not for the, I can't say that word on YouTube, but not for the R-word aspect, but it only requires 4 to 6 owners to collude, not all 32, which is a really good point. It does not take everyone in the league to hate. So even though, you know, not everyone hates Shedeur, if 3 teams, 3 of the more needier teams don't like it, and Pittsburgh, now we know that Aaron Rodgers was a thing. Like there are so many other things that fell into place. And then add that on top of if just 3 people are just not rocking with you to Mark Smith. I think that's a good point, though. I do think that's a good point. All things aside, is also, he says, coming in late to the stream, but I think SAS made the Kaepernick comment because of how they iced him out collectively. And then, hey, they agree there. And I agree that there is some truth to that, right? There definitely is some truth to that. So now that we heard him back then say it, let's see what he has to. Oh, please don't tell me you're broke again. Oh, okay. Here we go. Now, sorry, I'm having a problem with these download videos. Let's see what he thinks now.
Experienced veteran, you got him there as a security blanket. You should have had him there last.
Sorry, it's gonna stop real quick. Yeah, my fault. Go ahead. Oh no, it broke again. I'm sorry. When you watch the video, this will be edited out. Don't worry. Or maybe it might not be. We'll see. We'll see.
Got him there as a security blanket. You should have had him there last year, okay? But when I look at Shador Sanders, I mean, when you consider what he did, his career completion percentage is the best in the FBS. More than 71% for his career. He completed 74% of his passes last year, despite being sacked about 42 times. Okay, 90 plus times.
Hit
over
my
the 2
ride
years
at
at
beat,
Colorado.
boy.
The brother can play.
I have to talk over
these
beats.
Drafted
I'm sorry.
in the fifth round, 140
chop down
overall.
my
We all know
stream,
how bogus that
dog.
was. We know that there's more to it than just his football skill. But him being there, you want to test a lot of things about Shador Sanders. And most of it, of course, his skill set is one thing because you want to make sure he can play on this level. But his temperament, his willingness to handle, not ability, because we know he has the ability, but his willingness to handle adversity.
Willingness to handle adversity. That's where I'm going to argue with you, Stephen A. Smith. And I think that's my biggest issue with Stephen A. Smith, because, you know, I might title this video, Shedeur proves all of Stephen A. Smith's lies, XYZ. And I think the biggest lie that Stephen A. Smith is telling, and I think the point of some of these videos are why I keep telling you, like, yo, I'm not surprised by this. And let's not act surprised, because the more we act surprised, the more that if my chat is right, my live chat is right, if it is just those 3 to 4 owners that decided to ice Shador Sanders out, well, they get what they want at that point for us to be like, oh, well, now he's humbled. Oh, well, that's all they wanted. Again, this is about control. This is about control. And if you ask me, I think it was about getting y'all to watch all 3 days of the draft. That, hey, you know what I'm saying? Maybe my tinfoil hat is on too tight, but that's how I felt about it. That's how I feel about the situation, right? It seems like a situation where, you know what I mean, Shedor's going to be cool. So let's go ahead and take it to the 3rd day. Let's make it happen. Let's make it make sense. But I do think Stephen A is wrong when you talk about battling adversity. Again, multiple offensive coordinators, multiple places he's gone through. I know a lot of people use Deion Sanders being his coach and him being his dad as like a pro. And some people do it as a negative in the media aspect. But I don't understand how people don't look at that as adversity when trying to be on a team. Like how that changes the dynamics of how you have to be a leader. The way that, again, I'm not sure how many of y'all have ever been coached, like had a coach's son. Typically, anytime I've had that experience, like they've been they get coached a little harder. Like that's the special treatment, is they get coached harder, and you know what I'm saying, they try to prove a point, you know what I'm saying, almost like, hey, you're my son, that whole thing. So I don't really think he gets any preferential treatment. I think, well, that'd be wrong to say. I think at some point he is going to get, in some ways, shapes and aspects, but not in the way that I think a lot of people fear. And I do think there is some negative drawbacks to any of the positives that is, because it's got to be comfortable having your dad be a head coach at the end of the day. All those drawbacks do come with, hey, how do I fit in with the team? How do I prove to people I can handle adversity when apparently I've been in this cushy environment? People don't even think, you know what I'm saying? Mary Kay got on here and say he's only had, you know, the same Pat Shurmur offensive coordinator for all 4 years at Jackson State. She had Pat Shurmur. Come on, guys. Like, we can be honest. We can be honest, man. So those are the things, or the lies rather, that I think Stephen A. Smith is getting off, especially because now that, you know, you pull out and you see things like this, right? Former NFL scout with very, very high rates. Former NFL scout, this is analyst Cotton McKnight. He says he has the best balls that I've seen in 2 decades. Hold up. This might be a troll. Hold up. Wait a minute. I think I messed up. Yeah, I apologize. This is wrong, but it's hilarious. But hey, this is why we can't fall for fake news. That's why we do it live, son. But I'm going to use this as a jumping point. I don't care, because it's hilarious. Pause, first off. Second, I want to atone for the things that I said when it comes to Shador Sanders' throwing ability. I know I came out and kind of spoke to, you know, the fact that, hey, people would question his inconsistent velocity. Every single time I say that, y'all try to jump on me, all right? But a lot of y'all in the comments consistently said, hey, look, Shador Sanders has come out and said he throws the right ball with the right velocity. And not Brett Favre. Oh my God, not the Welfare Steeler. Not Brett Favre. Kurt Warner came out and said that Shador Sanders actually throws a really good catchable ball. And that's what y'all said. Look, he does what he needs to do to get the ball in places. And I feel like in the NFL, he's just heightened that, right? I think he's shown that he can get velocity up. He's shown that he can fit in those tight windows, and he can do things at a very high level. And I think that's impressive to at least see. Before we end this particular video, again, we got more comments. If you're watching live, we got more to go. We are going to listen to Dan Orshlovsky talk about Shador Sanders really quick. But again, I'm doing this live, so I got to talk to my comments, see what they feel, the input. And Isaiah Lawrence has to say, I hate that everyone is putting humble in their statements. Nobody cares about what is right. I definitely think they did so. I'm reading straight through like that. What's it called? Okay, cool. Sorry about that. But yeah, that is something that I've kind of been battling with, the whole, hey, he's been humbled thing. Doesn't really make a lot of sense to me, but hey, it is what it is. And I think the biggest thing is to try to pretend like there's a surprise, right? Oh, he is so humble. Well, even if you do think he's humble, I know humbled. He's not humbled. You think he's humble. Because if you go watch the videos, to your point, Isaiah, you'll see a humble gentleman who's always been this way. All things J. Cole. Is that right? All things J. Cole? Or J. Cole. Sorry about it. It's hard to read because they're small. I definitely think they did it so people would watch the draft as well. I think that's funny. The black dude says it's a troll. It is a troll. He did a good job controlling his velocity. He played with a broke back. Paws on the balls. Yes, the first one. Lol. Okay, cool. Nice. But hey, I appreciate y'all comment. Appreciate y'all rocking with me in the live. Again, I don't do many lives. If y'all want me to do more lives, I can. But anytime I record while I do a live, gotta talk to the people that are here live. Make sure you do it. So if you do ever want to check us out, go pop out. So let's hear to Dan Orlovsky. Wait, how long is this? It's only 40 seconds, and then we're gonna get up out of this video. Dan Orlovsky, notorious for running outside the back of the end zone, one of the funniest safeties in NFL history. What does he have to say about the new developments of Shador Sanders and many?
Say this. If this offense is going under Kevin Stefanski, at least rumors to what it was a couple years ago, he's perfect for it. Because he's perfect for the under center, play action, control the line of scrimmage, see the defense, get from 1 to 2 to 3 quickly, or 1 to 2 to 3, he's got to do it more quickly. But he's custom made for that. But the way that he thinks and the way that he can see something on the board, take it to a walkthrough, and then bring it to a practice, that's how you win. He has to force that organization to play him because he's so impressive. And it will start this week, and then it will start for them to say, let's give him reps versus our #1 defense in training camp and see how he does.
Yes, I'm going to keep the troll picture up here. But, yeah, that's been a big point that I've kind of talked about. And it's interesting because I made the Dillon Gabriel video recently, and I kind of talked about, like, hey, a lot of things that came out with Dillon Gabriel were that, hey, he's the perfect fit. He's a guy that puts the ball in good places, although he's not the biggest, right? The fact that he makes decent decisions, he can throw away anticipation, great velocity, he can attack the middle of the field. That's a lot of the things that you can characterize. That's not a real word, by the way. Characterize, that's not a real word. Those same characteristics can be attributed to Shador Sanders in the way that he plays his game as well, right? There's a lot of good decision making. There's a lot of anticipatory throwing that not only we see at the collegiate level, but we continue to see when we look at just the Browns mini camp, whether it's OTAs and situations like that. But I think that's dope to see. But just to close it out with the best balls in 2 decades, I do want to talk about it. There's so many trolls as I close this video out about this, but I think it's funny because it's like y'all are trolling in a positive way. So I think that's just y'all are gonna accidentally make Shador Sanders somehow a bigger star. So that's the end of it. Continue the trolls, continue the balls. Pause. If you're live, stay here. We're not going nowhere. But if you're watching this video on my YouTube channel, please enjoy the rest of your day. Be amazing, be phenomenal. Like the video if you like it. Dislike it if you don't like it. Please subscribe if you want to watch college football content, because this is supposed to be a college football channel, but y'all got me talking about NFL. Now I'm joking with you. It's a football of all shapes and sizes channel. If you want to see that, go ahead and subscribe. Hit the bell icon not to miss anything. And yeah, man, continue to be great. We'll see you next time. Peace. Nice. First topic down. First video down. Chat, how we feeling? Dog, look at that. Look, I got clips, ammo. Let me respond to the chat. Good try to control his velocity. Isaiah, I agree. Pause on the balls. Don't pause on the balls too long. My man Mark Smith says he threw like an NFL quarterback to his wide receivers to prepare them to catch NFL balls from an NFL quarterback. Seemed to have worked out pretty good for all of them. That's a good point, Mark, because you got LeJontay Wester making big waves, not only in special teams, but also in the offensive side of things for the Baltimore Ravens. You got, of course, J5, who's now J15, Jimmy Horn, seemingly doing big things over there. So that's positive to see as well. Xavier Weaver going into his second year with the Cardinals. Who am I missing? I mean, Travis, he's 2 positions, so I don't really count him. Will Shepard getting another chance with the Broncos, so definitely good to see. I don't think J. Cole. Will Shep is trying out for the Broncos. Yeah, we are talking about that. I think I put a little more of that in the video I did yesterday. He was getting some more looks there. I'm gonna do a separate Will Shepard video, probably coming into the end of the week, but we'll get into that. Let's oh, it's raining outside. It's raining outside my house. Y'all want to go? I'm since y'all are here. Again, we're supposed to go Cam Ward. I'm gonna let y'all vote right now. I'm not sure how many are gonna comment. Y'all want to go Cam Ward or another Shador Sanders topic? Which y'all feeling? I got up next. I got Shador Sanders proved all the lies wrong, and what actually the fun one about this one is that we can actually go through and add a little more. We can add some to this one, man. Both, okay. All things J. Cole says both. All right, boom. Well then I got a Cam Ward ready to go. Let's do it then. Let's do Cam. Okay, let's do it then. They say they want Cam. Hey man, that boy Cam talking nasty. Isaiah says, Cam, it's too easy. Shout out to D Motley 8492 for being in the chat as well. Oh, Isaiah redacted the Cam. Oh my gosh, Cam. Oh, then said Cam again. Okay. Isaiah says Cam. All things says Cam. Both. Okay. Oh, hey, don't worry. We gonna get to it, but let me switch it up for a second. We're gonna go here. We're gonna go Travis Hunter, go right back to Shedeur, and then if we have time, we're gonna go. I'm gonna update you with some Deion Sanders, what's it called, transfer updates, because there's some Isaiah August updates. But we'll hop into this video. And to my guys that are in my live chat, don't act weird when I intro the YouTube video. All right, you know what I'm saying? I'm introing the video. I might be a little. I put my little corporate voice on. Lynn, how you feeling? How we feeling? I'm about to start this Cam Ward video because he's talking that talk. All right. Cam Ward, some people say, is the least covered #1 NFL draft pick in a very long time. So to refute that, I'm going to continue talking about Cam Ward, because even if you put aside the things and the, yes, historic and largely major and legendary career year that he had at Miami, if you put all that to the side, his entire football run has been something of amazement. And it really comes down to what he believes. And he believes in himself, and he believes that he's going to change the NFL, not just the Tennessee Titans. I feel like they're buzzing around there, right? Not a lot of pieces of film come out of that tight ship over there, but everything I see is Cam Ward absolutely slinging it like we know him to do. Now, we're going to get into a few pieces of his recent media availability, and I want to remind y'all of something. I do need to remind y'all of the accolades of Cam Ward before we get into that, because I know I've told y'all about him being at a wing T offense in high school. I know I told y'all about him only having an FCS offer, so he goes to Incarnate Ward and then goes to Wazoo and lights it up. And then obviously Miami, top tier. I think he was top 3, top 5 in Heisman voting. The crazy year, 4,000 yards, #1 overall pick. But let's not forget this: records set by Cam Ward. First in career Division I touchdowns at 178. First in Miami single season passing yards. And these are for Miami single season passing touchdowns and single season completion percentage. First in Incarnate Ward career passing touchdowns, passing yards, single season passing touchdowns, single game passing touchdowns, single game passing yards, single season passing efficiency. Wow. In Wazoo, which is if you don't know, please look it up. And it's extremely historic. First off, #1 in Miami is absurd, but #9 in Wazoo for single season passing completion and pass attempts, as well as single season completion percentage. #1 in Miami is crazy because there's been so much heritage, but it doesn't stop there. How about the awards Mr. Cam Ward has won? Here are the awards he has won. In college, Heisman Trophy finalist, obviously. Davey O'Brien, Manning Award, consensus first team All-American, ACC Player of the Year, Offensive Player of the Year, first team All-ACC, All Pac-12 Conference. Well, that's an honorable mention. All right. That's an honorable mention. All Pac-12 Conference honorable mention. Earl Campbell Rose Award semifinalist. Walter Payton Award finalist. Second team All-Star stats performance. Southland Conference Offensive Player of the Year. Hero Sports SCS Sophomore All-American. And very important, Jerry Rice Award. Very, very, very decorated a young man in Cam Ward. So when he says things like this,
I'm always locked in. Trash talk, it'll never mean nothing to me. It won't get to me some type of way. I'm just somebody who likes doing it. And so what's the point of playing something that you love? You can't have fun with it. So, that's where it comes from. But, I mean, I love the game. And so any chance I get, to let somebody know that they can't fuck with me, it really doesn't matter.
I like that, dog. Look, man, there's been a lot of conversation. Okay, I'm about to get a little loud. Please, if I'm in your house, turn me down a little bit because you got to get that. Nah, man, because Shador Sanders, and I hate to bring him up, but they're going to be tied together. We talk about his confidence, whatever. That's separate. His is sometimes loud or whatever. If you worried about confidence, you better get out of Cam Ward's face, boy, because he plays a Conor McGregor. If you know UFC, he is Conor McGregor. Deion Sanders, if you will, incarnate. I'm Jalen Ramsey. I'm about to talk this hot in your face as a quarterback. Phillip Rivers, if he cussed. Yeah, because Phillip Rivers was a menace. Phillip Rivers if he could. I'm going to get in your ass. That's what he did at Miami. That's what he did at Wazoo. That's what he's finna do to your favorite NFL team. He gonna play with you now. He gonna play with you. And again, like my man in the comments, D. Motley says, Shedeur talks the same way. And he's not wrong. But again, Shedeur's not. That's for a separate video, D. Motley. You gonna get me off track now. We gonna get Isaiah. You gonna get me off track. But to keep it separate, because that's for another video. I like this. That's why I like Shedeur. I'm gonna be over here. That's why I like Shedeur. That's why I like Deion Sanders. That's why I was a Conor McGregor fan. Hey, if you talk, I don't just like talkers. Like that's not cool. That's not fun. But when you talk it, and every time it happens, when you put them shades on and say it's Brady mode, and then you make Brady mode happen. When you say, hey, ain't nobody with me, and then you do phenomenal things and you throw some phenomenal balls, right? And you throwing ropes like this. You throwing top tier velocity moonshots like this. Hey man, I think you can say that. I think you can say that. And let me address the chat because they're saying a few things. I'm not gonna go too off track. Salute gang. Oh my man, News Nation, appreciate you, new subscriber. Brewster says, I am just not a fan of Cam Ward. Okay. He basically threw Shedeur under the bus in interviews with media looking to make fun of Shedeur, and Cam took the bait, downplaying his skills to deem himself better. It is what it is. Time will tell who got the goods. Now, Brewster, I appreciate you watching, but I'm sorry to tell you, but I can prove that that's a lie. So he said that y'all gonna get me off track. Y'all can get me off track. This is about Cam Ward, but Cam Ward came out and praised Shedeur. Not only did he praise Shedeur on the Busing with the Boys interview, but he praised it in his opening interview, saying he's one of the more skillful quarterbacks in this draft class. We're not going to go there, Brewster. Don't be spreading those lies. My man Mark Smith says Isaiah Shedeur saved Cam from getting a lot of scrutiny, which shows what a good friend he is. He took all of their negativity so Cam wouldn't have. That's a good point, Mark. A lot of people, again, the way that people looked at Cam is just, hey, he's overconfident because he's had this long adversity-filled XYZ. But if you look at Shedeur's had some adversity. Shedeur played at FCS. Shedeur played at HBCUs, which a lot of NFL legends come from. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's a fair thing to talk about. But it doesn't take away from Cam Ward. You know what I mean? It shouldn't also take away from Cam Ward. It says, Gore says, sadly, Cam can talk like that, but Shedeur better not even look anyone the wrong way. That's the truth of it. D. Motley again says, I'm with you on that. Talk that talk and back it up. No, it's not people took Cam shots at Shedeur. This who they thought Shedeur was. Okay, Robert's taking some shots, and iKing says Shedeur is like a swordfish. His throws are always on point. Okay, shout out to iKing. Now, going back to Cam Ward, regardless of how you feel about Shedeur, regardless of how you feel about the comparisons, because the problem, because they're going to continue to be compared, they train with each other. And remember, Cam Ward was used in some nasty ways to be against Shedeur. The media did that. Cam Ward didn't do that. But I never want that to take away from the fact that Cam Ward needs to keep talking that hot boy. Talk to him. Oh, it's a little quiet.
For the next 5 to 6 weeks before you report to camp, and will you gather with your receivers and some of the other quarterbacks and go over things just to kind of refresh everybody?
Just work out, stay in the playbook, and throw the fuck out the ball. So
we saw a pretty good back and forth with you
Okay.
and Jeffrey, I guess, from his first day back. What's that been like, and what's it been like kind of exchanging trash talk with the defense?
it's been good. I need somebody like that, especially somebody like Jeff who's gonna let you know he's there. Every time he's one of the best defensive tackles in the league, if not the best. I'm glad he's on my team. I'm glad he's not one of the ones who gets a chance to get a free shot at me. But I mean, I'm happy I'm playing with him. I know he's excited about my future, but I can't wait to get on the field with him on Sunday.
Absolutely. And again, to be fair to Cam, as much as he's confident, he often gives a lot of credit. And like I said, I'm never gonna go never pin Shedeur and Cam. It's not gonna work because they're openly, they're brothers. Like my commenters are saying, it's just not gonna happen. Now let's talk about their head coach. We recently talked about Cam Ward, and we were talking about how the coaches. I think it was a coordinator said like, hey, he's here at 5 a.m. dog. Like he's beating coaches here. Here's another tale from coaches about like, dog, I'm telling y'all, Cam Ward, there's going to be, this whole draft class is going to be legendary. Like legitimately, when I say legendary, like I think there's going to be stories written about, Travis Hunter playing two-way, Shedeur, 5th round, Cam Ward talking while getting plays in his ear. Let's hear it.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I'm not used to calling plays to a quarterback who's usually still talking when I'm talking to him. And that's great. And so I asked him after practice, and I said, just help me out here. Said, do you need me to wait till you finish? And he goes, no. He goes, I'm listening. So he's hearing what I'm telling him, and it was a pretty remarkable to see all the things going on and how much he's talking, but like his brain is still like with me, I guess is the best way to put it. Like when I'm calling a play, he's doing all he's doing, but he's listening to everything I'm telling him. And he enters right into the huddle and he calls a play and doesn't script the play call. And I thought that was actually kind of remarkable. I don't know, I couldn't do that. So that's just kind of who he is. That's his personality. And again, if it was something that I felt like was detrimental to his ability to manage the offense and call it in a huddle and all that, I'd probably have a couple things to say to him, but he didn't miss a beat when it came to calling the play and being on top of it and then executing when it came time to execute. So it was new experience for me, but it was fun.
So when I talk about talking that, but also backing it up, like this is what I mean. It's not just about scoring touchdowns and being whatever. It's also about this, right? Hey, I'm talking and I'm listening, and I'm listening, coach. I got you, coach. And if I mess it up, it's on me. But I gotta get into these real quick. I gotta get into them. I really gotta lay it out now. I'm not just gonna let y'all do whatever. And as a quarterback who's supposed to be confident, you gotta keep that up. You gotta keep these things up, man. Now, again, on Cam Ward, on what it is, on what he's gonna do to the NFL, I do think that we have to talk about the idea that, hey, this was a weak quarterback class. It was a weak quarterback class. And I think some people use that to diminish Shedeur. I think some people use that to diminish Cam Ward too, though. And I think it went starting off as, oh, well, Cam Ward is just a default number 1 overall. And it now has evolved to, wait. Oh, this guy can really throw. And it's so interesting to me because look, this dude was a problem. Y'all can go watch my videos. We were watching Miami games, and they were probably on the consistent factor of entertaining. Like Colorado is 1, Miami is with Cam Ward is right there at number 2. Those late night games going against Cal, all the other craziness, like it was insane. Like every other game I felt was like a down to the wire, last second, whatever. And Cam Ward, every single time, I'm talking about, I don't matter if he just threw a bad interception, if it was whatever, like you talk about cut from the same cloth, Shedeur and Cam, dog. Every time it was asked him to do it, all right, let's do it. All right, let's march. All right, let me do some magical throw the ball out, between my legs, behind my ear, Well, I got 15 people on me. I got it, right? The composure is through the roof. The intent is through the roof. So when you do those things, when you control those things like that, dog, I want to hear you talk that hot I'm sorry. I need that. I need that. This is what a teammate has to say. This is Mr. Cody Barton, and this was saying he did get 2 interceptions. He did get 2 interceptions off game where I ain't seen no quarterback tracker over there for the Titans because, look, it's Cam Ward's team. It is what it is. But Cody Barton was fired up after 2 interceptions off of Cam Ward, what he's seen, and he's going to talk about what he's seen from the rookie. Before that, again, I am doing this live. I'm going to try to do some more live, so y'all let me know. If you're watching this on the YouTube channel, let me know if you want to see this again. But the YouTube channel, I got to talk to the people who are here live. They got some comments about the things I've been yapping about, and I got to, let them know what's good. So Mark Smith, who's been in here for a while, says, Cam is not better than Shedeur. Let's see how long Cam is on the field before Will Levis is back out there. Whoa, Now that's a hot take. That's a hot take. Only because I think Will Levis is garbanzo beans. I think he's terrible. Tyrone Finn, what's going on, Tyrone Finn? Shedeur says, he says Shedeur gonna prove you wrong. I don't deny it. And he says I think Cam is slightly better now, but in the long run, Shedeur will be fine. And if I could answer, because it's kind of both of those questions, I think the conversation is what's it called? That's not the conversation. It shouldn't be who's better. I think right now the conversation is floor and potential. And I think that's the reason why Cam Ward is number one pick and why a lot of people assumed Shedeur was a bottom of the first/second round pick, even the worst case scenario. That's what people thought, if we're being honest, right? And, some people thought number 2 overall, number 1 overall, XYZ. And for me, I thought that Shedeur was the most pro-ready quarterback. The reads, the ability, the timing, putting the ball in places and doing it in a consistent place. But with Cam Ward, you get like this explosiveness. You get this potential. You get this dynamism, and a lot of bit of the Mahomesiness, the arm angles. You get a lot more tools in the toolkit, right? So, I would probably ask you, are you someone who wants a bunch of tools in the toolkit, or do you want to be somebody who's practiced one punch 1,000 times? It's really dependent on how you want to slice the bread. But if an NFL team believes that Cam Ward can also, do that one thing to a high level as well as these other things, I don't think there's nothing wrong with it. But time, at the end of the day, is the only thing that's going to be able to tell this story. And I'm very, very happy to read it. Going on, Isaiah has to say Cam need to keep that ish going. That's what I'm talking about. Nate Edwards says Cam and Shedeur are Texas boys and best friends. Absolutely. Brewster says, I agree. Cam is not better than Shedeur. Wow. Okay. And that's how Brewster was saying some crazy. Oh no, he said that about Cam. Sorry. Every time I watch you, I can't hear the audio. I can hear you, but nothing else. Oh, y'all let me know. Y'all let me know if I'm having audio problems. I agree. What's it called? Cam's over. What's it called? They are blocked in. We got to make sure these live streams go throughout the seasons. I like talking ball with y'all. Oh, of course, y'all doing great. Shout out to Tyrone. Mark says, how come they're in not pocket watching Cam like they are Travis and Shedeur? You know the answer to that, Mark. You know the answer to that. Robin says, low me. Like when it comes to talking, Cam can talk crazy and actually does, but Shedeur doesn't even talk that much. That's what I'm saying. Like if you get Shedeur going, he'll talk, but Cam is looking to talk. Like he want to get that off, which I think is fun. You know what I'm saying? Isaiah says Cam and Shedeur are generational talents. Okay, they're going to change the league like Steph and Clay did. Okay, that's an interesting little comp. Okay, y'all just not used to it. Trillion of Judah says Cam literally is proof that the narrative around Shedeur is BS. They say it wasn't skills, but the baggage/attitude that comes with Shedeur as to why he fell so far, it's just nonsense. I feel that. Oh, fell. Okay. I feel what you're saying. Isaiah says, are y'all not entertained? For right now, nobody talking NBA finals. It's all about the, all right. We're not going to slander the finals here, Isaiah. Mark Smith says they started calling him a quitter because of the bowl games. Then remembered they hated Shedeur and couldn't stop Travis with his now wife drama. Yo, they tried to do that. The bowl. He played two quarters for the bowl season and then let a young dude come in for a Cam Ward for Miami's bowl game. And for a whole time, they were trying to make it like a whole, oh my God, Cam Ward is a quitter. Cam Ward. That was some nasty stuff. That was nasty. Thank you for reminding me of that. The media can't make them brothers, minority. Shout out Heather. 50s is fabulous. He's proven every day that he's number one. Hey, East Coast Kev says there's a channel on here called Prime that actually does great film breakdown, Shedeur and other college players. Oh yeah, Buffton Prime does good stuff. Shout out to Mad Dog. Wait. Sorry. Shout out to you. Thank you so much for that donation. I am going to give some shout out to some Colorado creators when we get into our Colorado section. But Buffton Prime does a good job. Thank you, sir, for that $5. But let's get into Cody Barton being fired up about his 2 interceptions on Cam Ward.
Yeah. 2 picks. Yeah. Cam's awesome. What do you think about it? Cam's awesome. Great player, and as a rookie to come in and, lead and command the way he has and take control of this offense, it's impressive to see. Just, you guys all seen his ability. He can make every throw. But, the physical ability is, very impressive. But just the maturity and the emotional maturity and so all that with it, is pretty special.
Yeah, and I think something, it kind of goes along with what we're talking about when it comes to why Cam Ward is really allowed to speak the way he does and get off what he gets off is solely because, there's also a bit of maturity that comes with it. And we have to address that. We have to address that there's, with all the talking that comes with it, on the back end, there's other people saying that, he's also one of the more polished and more mature players that you've seen. So when you have a combination like that, I just think that there's nothing but positivity that can come out of someone who is set up in both of those ways with enough fire and tenacity and confidence to continue to elevate a team. But at the same time, the understanding of what it means to receive and take and give back to some of the veterans, as well as some of the young bulls that will be coming up with them as well. I think Cam Ward is going to change the NFL for a long time. Now, as a Texans fan, this is where I'm supposed to get off my Oilers rant. And I want to take a little time here because this video is kind of long. But I'm going to take some time here. I understand that Houston doesn't own the thing, that Houston is now the Titans. They changed this, the ownership. Guys, I get that. But you're not going to stop me from wanting them dang Oilers back in Houston, because y'all ain't using them. Y'all use them like twice a season sometimes. And y'all stop wearing. Just make them your primaries. How about it, huh? How about put a sword through the dang Oiler and do it? At least use them. Have some pride, at least. That's all I'm saying. But other than that, you'd be amazing. You'd be great. If you're watching live, stay live, because we're going to get into some more topics. But if you're watching on YouTube, thank you so much for watching. Like the video if you like it. Dislike it if you don't like it. Come join the lives at some time. Subscribe if you enjoy football content of all shapes, sizes, forms, and factors. And we'll hit you on the next time the sun shines. Continue to be great. Peace. All right. Now, chat's here. I will let y'all choose the next topic. So the next topic is either Travis Hunter, which we're supposed to do, is either Travis Hunter or an Isaiah Augustov / Colorado update. Now, because East Coast Kev shouted out Buffed in Prime, and Buffed in Prime, if I remember, is that T-Cow? Because we'll give him a shout out. He be doing it big, but I want to give some more shout outs to a few more. Oh, the Canada FP1 is going on. I don't know if y'all care about F1. Anybody watch F1 in here? Sorry. Buffed in Prime. Is that right? That doesn't look like the one that was supposed to be. Buffed in Prime. Yeah, that's T-Cow. Yeah. So they only do film breakdowns. All right. Well, only is crazy. I don't mean like in a bad way. But what's it called? We got Colorado. Okay, Dominic says he wants a Colorado update. Hunter says, heard your question. Cam being least talked about number one overall boards of Titans fans. Trust me, it ain't even a question. This dude didn't even get his draft interview after being selected number one. That was kind of nasty. That was kind of nasty. Oh, Gore's an F1 guy. Hey, I'm new to it. I'm getting into it. I'm dipping my toe in water. We got the Canada GP. We're in FP1. Shout out to you. Okay. We got some F1 guys in here. All right. Go ahead and drop either your team or just, the driver you're watching. I'm new to it, so I'm not sure if I need to pick a driver. I'm just kind of following Hamilton because obviously he's the most popular. I feel like he's like Goku at it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just kind of looking through Ferrari. I actually like Charles Leclerc, Kimi Antonelli. The young gun, he's fire. Mad Max, obviously, he's too good. He already won too many. I need someone new. I'm not a George Russell guy yet. We'll see. We'll see. All right, we got Travis, F1. Oh, F1 Red Bull. Okay, cool. That's nice. So we got one Travis and I think 2 Colorados. Bro, get your levels together. The video you play, volume on 3, then you start screaming at 100. I'm tired of changing my volume, bruh. Oh, okay. I'll change. It's all good. You ain't got to be so mean about it, Hollywood Trill. Why you got to be so mean about it? McLaren. Oh, Piastri. Okay, nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, McLaren's been flying, dog. McLaren has been flying. All right, but shout out Buffed in Prime. They do some good stuff. Somebody donated, let me know that they were doing the big deal. But there's another account that does really good stuff. I forgot their Buff's Eye View, I think it is. Buff's Eye. I think it is. I think it's Buff's Eye. Not Buffed Up TV. Here we go. Bird's Eye View. That's another one you gotta shout out. He actually does stuff with Uncle Neely, I think. He does stuff with I forgot the name. But if you want to watch film breakdowns, I do many film breakdowns. I don't go in depth. These dudes I think do pretty in depth stuff. I think so. I'm pretty sure. And then Buff only does film breakdowns. So shout out to them. Shout out to them. All right. So we decided we want to do Travis, or we doing Colorado update. Going last call for I'm gone. He always does that. I'll put on mute and go to captions. Oh, what's going on, man? Colorado update. Y'all want to? Hey, how about this? How about before we do Colorado update, let's check our levels. Since y'all are yelling at me in the comments, since y'all are being so mean, you're gonna make me cry, man. Why can't I just yell at you? Huh? All right, let's hear this. How does this sound?
Virginia, you gotta stop. I let you have one. I ain't say nothing about it. Hold them up. Come on now. Come on.
How loud is that? How about this?
Anybody got anything they want to say? Anybody got anything they want to get off their chest? When you start, anybody, anybody. Everybody quiet. Anybody planning on using us, get on national TV and jump in the portal.
How's that? How the level sound now? Y'all was talking that high. Yeah. All things J. Cole. I think sometimes what happens is I listen to quiet videos and y'all blame me that the video is quiet, but I'm just proving the point because this is loudish, isn't it? Yeah, because the videos have different volumes.
We got some tremendous guys identified this.
Got to fix your levels, bro. Well, I mean, you got any suggestions? He always does that. Well, AJ, if I always do that, then why you watching, big homie? There's plenty of Colorado channels, plenty of different things. All right, y'all ready? Y'all want Colorado update? Let's talk about it. Is everybody good? Is everybody all right? Oh, this is the wrong one, by the way. Oh, shout out to you, Thor Hero. Now, hey, I appreciate y'all rocking with me live. Again, we don't go live often. Sorry, but let's get y'all updated on this transfer portal news for Colorado. Oh, let me send a text because I think my lady just texted me. Hold up. Where's it at? Okay, boom. Here it is. So 2 things happened. I'm going to let you know right now. Obviously, I'm about to record the video, and then I'm going to go into more detail. But how many of y'all remember Isaiah Augustov? Oh, appreciate you enjoying the comment. I really appreciate y'all. The support has been great recently. It's been awesome. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to find more ways to add content for you guys. So if that's live streams, if that's, different stuff, y'all let me know. We're experimenting. I cannot thank y'all enough for 25K. So we got to figure it out. Yeah, I don't do live. Again, I don't do lives majorly. I'm dipping my I'm just seeing if y'all enjoy it. Right now, it seems like y'all enjoy it. So if that's the case, what's it called? We can do it some more, right? We can do it some more. Okay, just gotta check something real quick. But y'all remember Isaiah? Who remembers Isaiah Augustov? Because we're gonna get into a few things here. Super cool background while working for sure. You just watch after work. Okay, appreciate that. Appreciate that. Okay, so hey, appreciate it. Appreciate that. All right, let's get into this Isaiah Augustov video or this, topic. Major update in the world of Colorado. I know CFB Tings hasn't talked about college football in a while, but here we are speaking about it with a transfer portal update about Mr. Isaiah Augustov. Now, the last time we gave an update, it wasn't very positive for Isaiah. And, there's a lot of people saying that, whether some bridges burned or XYZ, but he went over to Virginia, committed, and then ended up not actually going to the school, decommitted, reopening up his, commitment process and recruiting process. First off, can we just talk about all the things that are messed up in college football? The transfer portal is the beginning and end of it, because why are people committing in the middle of June? I don't know, but that's not the point. The point is he has now committed to an SEC school, which is nothing new for the former Arkansas Razorback, right? Or, and former Colorado Buffalo. But let's go ahead and update you on the full story as it stands. Go over some stats. Go over South Carolina, because they're a school who lost a lot, clearly to the draft, but then they also have very high potential and a lot of high expectations with Lenore Sellers. You got Stewart back on the defensive line as well, and I think a little bit of help with a taller running back probably would do them well in the SEC. So if you enjoy college football, go ahead and leave a like on the video. Dislike if you don't like it. Subscribe if you enjoy that content, and hit the bell icon to never miss a video. Let's hop right into it. So kind of like I already laid out, he was initially from Arkansas. He was a Razorback, doing it big over there. Again, a taller running back. 6'2" is a little taller for running backs. 6'2", 210 pounds, SEC experience. He was the lead rusher for the Colorado Buffaloes last year. And to be honest with you, it was a lethargic running game, so it's not much to lead. But in fact, did lead Colorado last year. So a bit of a big loss, depending on what you think about. At the time, they still had Brandon Hoodie into the transfer portal as well, but it wasn't as big of a loss because of that. And of course, Dallin Hayden seems to be staying put for Colorado as well. But you lose Isaiah, and not only did you lose Isaiah, you lost him to Virginia. And we're gonna get into those videos of Deion Sanders calling out Virginia and calling out the fact that there were some contracts that were being put into place, and it seemed like clearly Isaiah didn't get his bread, so he had to decommit, and somehow he ended up in a better place. I don't know how that's possible. But if this proves anything, it proves that Isaiah had suitors at a higher level than Virginia. No disrespect to Virginia, but a SEC school is going to trump Virginia anytime. You're telling me, and who knows what connections he had or what opportunities he had, but there's no way you're telling me with the transfer portal being closed, a 6'2" SEC experience, lead rusher and last team, you're not going to tell me that he didn't make his decision to go to Virginia because of NIL or not because of money. And which is fine, get your money, but this is a clear, if he had the ability to play in the SEC, and not just an SEC school, I want it to be known that South Carolina is a team now, and they're projected to be a team. Paul Finebaum has them as one of the sleepers in college football, one of the teams on the rise. So not only did Isaiah join just a team or just an SEC team, you joined an SEC team that is a lot of people's favorite to make a college football run. A lot of people were mad they didn't make the college football last year. Just Lane Kiffin. Lane Kiffin was the only one mad that there wasn't another SEC school in the college football playoff. But let's take a look at it. Let's take a look at some stats and some facts. This is obviously from one of the websites we use. We will continue to use in the season. Anytime we do our breakdowns, our projections, we talk about some of the few stats. I want to talk about specifically how South Carolina's offense looked last year, right? For the offense points a game, they were 51. So about top to mid part of the league, right? There's 300 and not 344, 134. So that's going to be there. 134, 133, depending on who you ask. Anyway, yards a game, number 54. So still in that range. Points of play, 61. Yards of play, 70. Third down conversions, number 63. Yes, that's a little rough. Fourth down conversion don't really matter to me, to be honest with you, but 86 if that has anything to do with it. Red zone scoring, an abysmal 108. And you would think with a mobile quarterback and Rocket Sanders, who did get drafted, and we're going to talk about South Carolina, because they're not the worst when it comes to returning talent, but dog, they lost a lot of talent. They don't got a lot of returning talent. So that needs to be addressed as well. Rush play percentage, they were 21st in the nation in rush play percentage, but only 71st in yards or rush, which is interesting. And number 11 in rushes a game, and number 35 in rush yards a game. So not a very efficient bunch, but it seems like Beamer ball is all about go ahead and press and running back dive and read option and different things like that. So to be honest with you, it lends itself well for Isaiah to make another big step, because at this point you're coming into an SEC offense that already wants to hand the ball off. They want to get the ball in Lenore Sellers' hands to do not just throw it, but to also get loose with it. So Everybody knows about Isaiah if you're a Colorado fan and knows what he brings, what he can bring. And I do think that a lot of Colorado fans have a nasty taste in their mouth with Isaiah, but you just have to understand at the end of the day, this is college football. I'm a Texas fan at heart, right? Again, I'm also, a fan of Colorado as well. But I'm a Texas fan, you know what I'm saying? Like some of y'all are Colorado, like that's your team, you know what I'm saying? So it stings a lot differently. And I'm saying that because we lose a lot of teams. We lose often wide receivers. Oh my God, we be losing wide receivers everywhere in the transfer portal. So I understand what that can feel like, especially when it's somebody who's contributed so much, like Isaiah. But at the same time, do understand that Deion Sanders was more than equipped for this, right? We saw that he brought in some replacements, which we're going to talk about, who is also a former SEC back who did play at Coastal Carolina, did some things. But before that, I do want to talk about Paul Finebaum and what he looks like or how he views South Carolina. Again, Lenore Sellers probably has the only person with more hype than Lenore Sellers coming into next year is like Jeremiah Smith and Arch Manning, right? Before we do that, read some of the comments. I am doing this live, so be on the lookout for more lives if you're watching this video just on the YouTube channel. I'm trying to integrate that a little more. If you want to see more of them, y'all let me know. But gotta read it on the chat, see what they're doing. Check out what they're saying. So Stacy says, what's up, chat? New there. Melissa says, every content creator on YouTube trying to make $1 out Shedeur name, just posting anything for views. Well, Melissa, you probably should watch a little longer because you might have a different opinion of me. Stacy says, Augusta has a baby. He needs the money. And there's, Augusta, but you know what I'm saying. And there's nothing wrong with that at all. Hayden is going to be the truth. I do think so. Every time we saw him in Well-Off Media, and this is Mark Smith, by the way, in the chat, every time we've seen Dallin Hayden, for you Colorado fans, he's just been looking explosive. There's been no conversations about him leaving, so seems to be decent. Stacy says, Melissa Porter, this guy has been posting $12 in Colorado videos. Oh, has been posting like 12. Okay, yeah. And again, that's another thing, Melissa. You can go back for a while. I'm sorry, but just because I'm doing this live, and a lot of people, Melissa, you're right. There are a lot of content creators trying to make money off Shedeur, off of Deion Sanders. Here's the difference with me. First, I think I'm pretty fair. I'm not as biased as a lot of them are, but there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with being biased. I am still a little biased. But also, you can go watch. You can go back in time and watch my video. I was making preseason video. I'm not preseason video. I was making, middle of the week pregame videos. I was making post-game reactions. I was making, I was there, and I was doing it not with them, just with Colorado. I was doing it with other teams too. And it's not my fault, Melissa, that y'all enjoy Colorado content. Ain't nothing wrong with enjoying Colorado. Is it wrong to give the people what they want? Is that a crime? Of course not. Going back to the comments. What's it called? Isaiah says, why did he sign for, what did he sign for at South Carolina? No, I haven't seen any money figures yet. But for an SEC school, a running back position, I have to assume it's a few dollars, okay? Virginia couldn't match up his college credits for the transfer. Okay, Mark says it's a college credit thing. Interesting. Isaiah says he needs to follow the bag honestly and try to get in an education. Does anyone know what's going on with Coach Prime's health? He will be returning very soon. Ray, that's the last update we have. So getting back into Isaiah Augustif and really to close out his team, and that is the Gamecocks over there in South Carolina. And it is that Paul Finebaum named sleeper college football teams on the rise. And again, I don't really think that South Carolina is a sleeper team, but they are definitely a team that is known to be on the rise. The 2024 college football season showcased several teams with promising performances, resulting in some surprising selections for the inaugural 12-team college football playoff. However, a few teams narrowly missed the cut. One such team was South Carolina, who finished the season with a record of 9-4, the same as Colorado, and ranked number 15 in the final college football playoff rankings. This marked their best season since 2013. Wow. The Gamecocks were led by quarterback Lenore Sellers, a redshirt freshman who threw for 2,534 yards, completed 18 touchdown passes, and had only 7 interceptions. Additionally, he rushed for 674 yards and scored 7 rushing touchdowns. Due to his impressive performance this season, ESPN's Paul Finebaum expressed in his optimism about the Gamecocks prospects on Becoming the Season of the show, Paul Finebaum. He says, I think they're going to do really well. I think they have an elite quarterback in Lenore Sellers. I think they have a lot of compliments around him. They also have a schedule that's maybe challenging, but a little bit more managing even last year when they had to go against Clemson and to Alabama. So I really like what I see from the program. The Gamecocks ranked number 71 in the nation for returning production. Wow. Number 71 in the nation for returning. That's tough. With only 56% of their players returning. However, they do bring back 65% of their offensive production, which is important. Despite this, ESPN has identified South Carolina as one of the most likely to regress teams this season. Okay, that's interesting. ESPN's Bill Connolly noted that the teams has several key positions to fill, particularly on the offensive line, where they are missing 3 starters and nearly all of their front 6 players except for the start. What? Particularly on the offensive line, where they were missing 3 starters and nearly all of the front 6 players except for star Dylan Stewart. I guess they're talking about on the defensive side. You gotta switch it, dog. You gotta let us know you're talking about defense. Only 6 of the 15 defenders who played more than 200 snaps last season are returning. South Carolina will begin its season August 31st when it faces Virginia Tech Hokies. So that's something to look out to. So when it comes to Isaiah, it is what it is, right? He's done what he does, and I think, I've shared the sentiment that I wish him the best. I don't like when people get on here and try to be like, oh my God, he's a traitor, he's this, he's that. What he is a young man trying to figure out what's best for him and his family as he navigates a lot of different things in the world of NIL, college football, and as it constantly changes. I mean, there was just an NIL ruling recently about the house settlement, so things are going to only continue to change and continue to update. So, it's just an interesting perspective. Now, coming back to Colorado and what they gained. So, Colorado went ahead and picked up a running back, and I know they've already picked up other running backs, but we got other videos on that. Y'all go check them out. So, Colorado has added to their running back room 6 foot, 215-pound Simeon Pierce. So he also played for Mississippi State and Coastal Carolina. Finished last season with 44 carries, 136 yards, 3 yards per carry. I believe he redshirted and shut his season down. I didn't see anything about injury, but we're about to read this article really quickly about him. One thing I do want to point out, again, it seems like maybe not by choice, but it seems like, Deion is going away, or Colorado in general is going away from the taller back that they seem to like. It seems like they, maybe he wasn't going for taller running backs, but they had some taller running backs. But now with Isaiah gone, now you get, Damian, 6 foot is still almost on the taller end of running backs, but still it's not a giant 6'2" or 6'1", whatever. So interesting just build-wise to look at that. We talk about that with his corners. Deion Sanders has a type for corners and defensive back, and that's rangy, that's long. If anything 6'1" and above, he loves that at the cornerback position, and you start to see that with the running back position and how kind of what type of bodies are they looking to fill those positions, and what that looks like for their offense in general. What does that look like for pass pro? What does that look like for receiving? Obviously, because usually you have that receiving back for Colorado, but those things might change as the offense progresses and as different quarterbacks obviously take hold. So let's hear a little bit about Simeon Pierce. So BuffStampede.com has confirmed running back Simeon Pierce has committed to transfer to Colorado after spending a season at Coastal Carolina and 3 years at Mississippi State. The 6 foot 215 price gained 143 yards. I talked about that. He had an impressive 80.8 pass protection grade. Okay, so that, just like I alluded to, maybe there's other ways that you try to contribute. It's not just in the running game, but it can also be in this same sort of setup where it's really coming from, it's really coming from how can I support in different ways, right? How can I support the team in different ways? And if it's just a third down back that can catch out the backfield and have an elite pass protection grade, I think that's great. Price previously played in 24 games playing in the SEC at Mississippi State. After redshirting with the Bulldogs in 2021, Price led the team with a career-high 68 rushing yards on 7 attempts against Illinois at the ReliaQuest Bowl as a sophomore. Overall, he averaged 5.5 yards on 35 rushing attempts and averaged 8.3 yards on 15 catches during his time at Mississippi State. A top 100 Florida recruit coming out of Pensacola, West Florida. And another thing Deion Sanders is going to get is a Florida boy. You know that. West Florida Tech in 2021. Price had more than 20 other offers when he committed to Mississippi State, including an offer from Oklahoma and Tennessee. What made you commit to Mississippi State? That there is some real wizardry going on around there. A former junior Olympian that ranked in the top 5 nationally in the long jump, Price also won regional gold medals in the 400-meter dash. With 1 year of eligibility remaining, Price will join a Colorado running back room that also includes seniors Charlie Offendahl, juniors Dallin Hayden and DeCollin Taylor, and sophomore Micah Welch. Micah Welch is still there. So many running backs transferred because obviously Brandon Hood and Colton Hood transferred. I forgot Micah Welch was still here. But just to wrap up, this is another little piece here that kind of talks about Price is a back who can block and kind of just highlights more of what Price brings to the offense. So I think it adds an addition that, not to say we haven't seen from Colorado, but I definitely do think it's something that adds a lot more dynamism to the passing game. I don't know how to say words. I'll struggle with it from often. So I do want to backtrack really quick just to end this video, and then I'm gonna read some comments, and then we'll go from there. I just want to walk us through what happened, right? Now Isaiah, entered the transfer portal, went to Virginia, and the biggest thing here was that Deion Sanders was calling it out, and we're gonna just watch these 3 videos where he calls out some of the NIL problems, right, and does that. But obviously, Virginia poaches a few different players, Isaiah clearly being one of them. Deion's gonna tell you that bags were offered and things were promised that apparently just couldn't happen, right? And then ultimately, at the end of the day, when people look at the negativity or the clown show that people like to call Colorado, it's interesting that they're not caught in things like this when it comes to offering people crazy contracts, offering big bills, and doing the nastiness. So it's an interesting perspective. But one last thing before we even get to this and we get to the NIL, I want to put something in your head, and that is the fact that he's signing to an SEC school. I kind of alluded to this and I touched on this just a slight bit, but I think that's major when you talk about the fact that he went to Virginia. You know what I mean? Again, no disrespect to Virginia, or still a respected football program. And Mississippi State is the worst team in the SEC not Mississippi State. I'm stupid. Tripping. South Carolina. So it's specifically for South Carolina, who's looked at as a contender, right? I think that's interesting that you go from Virginia, who's a good team and it's got good players, and this is a respected team and produced some NFL players. You go to that to South Carolina, SEC team, produced so many NFL players, a contender for a college football playoff. Probably NIL bags are a little different over there. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's an interesting perspective that he still made that decision, probably because of the bag. I would have to hope, right? But if you had SEC offers, that's some craziness. Or maybe the SEC offers are the reason why, I know some people alluded to he had problems transitioning over his credits. But at the end of the day, that's the problem. The problem is y'all don't even know if the kid can transition credits, and y'all are offering money. And just like Coach Prom says,
Virginia, you got to stop. I let you have one. I ain't say nothing about it. Hold them up. Come on now. Come on.
So that was that. You know what I'm saying? Y'all remember this. And this one was a lot more direct.
We got some tremendous guys identified this in the portal that we felt like we're going to be in the portal. We don't jump the gun on that stuff because the last thing I want to hear is my name associated with tampering or anything like they do our kids. We got contracts. We got some schools so stupid they give kids contracts but they're still here. I don't understand that whatsoever. Like, NCAA, y'all got to do something, man. Don't just sit there on your hands and open them up and so everybody could grease you during palms and make a ton of money off everybody and don't have nothing to say about nothing. I don't understand that part. But portals is going to be good to us. I think we have several players coming this weekend, which I'm excited to see along with what we already have in-house.
So obviously Deion Sanders was very, very adamant about it. And, at first I think we all looked at it as, or some people looked at it as a failure when he reopened up his how you say recruitment. But it seems like I think he's ended up in a better place at this point. When you go from Colorado to Virginia, you went down. You know what I'm saying? It's clear to see you went down. You're not going to get more NIL looks unless you just literally offering you cash. But notoriety and looks, you're going to have the cameras everywhere. You go to South Carolina, that's pretty fair. When you talk about hype and you talk about notoriety, it ain't going to be no Deion's house. But, you know what I'm saying, a little different flavor, a little different situation. But that's it for the update. Both for Isaiah Augustin, wish him the best. It's going to be interesting to watch him Now we're going to be watching him in the SEC, so we'll keep up with the story, see if he's impactful in any way, shape, form, or fashion. We got obviously a different looking running back room for Colorado. We'll continue to update that as we have updates and things of that nature. But really enjoy y'all watching these videos. I hope you enjoy it. If you do like it, dislike it. If you don't like it, subscribe if you enjoy football content of all shapes and sizes. Hit the bell icon not to miss anything, and we will see you next time. Continue being great. Peace. All right, chat. We got. What we got? We have to finish this up by 3. 2 more videos though. We got Travis Hunter, and then we got another Shador Sanders video. We might end with the Shador Sanders video. But let's talk about a few things that the chat has been talking about. All right. He needs to follow the bag. Okay, we talked about that. Does anyone know what's going on with Coach Brown? We talked about that. Dwayne Welsh, we here for Shedeur. Okay, nothing wrong with that, Dwayne. You have been making videos. I love how you explain it. I keep it. They have been doing $2. For 2. Sorry. When I see the dollar sign, I keep forgetting. That's what y'all trying to say. His obviously his logo. I come on here and you are defending him. That's what I do. Isaiah says Paul Finebaum needs to stop the cap. SC only going to win 9 games again. Well, that's not bad for their schedule. Isaiah again says, "Lo, that guy just throwing ish out there, acting like his fans, like Mary from Cash Cleveland." Okay, Charger City says, "Blessings forever." I think he's just saying things. Hey, blessings forever too, brother. Blessings forever. Isaiah says Colorado is getting a really good running back. I think so too. Stacy Ephraim says can't stand MKC. Yeah. Stacy says 500,000 for Virginia, but that was the opposing number. But he should have known that wasn't happening. Sean, and he's yelling at me about this. He's yelling at me. He says, "Please do a video about the other former player if they are still in the NFL, please." Well, who do you mean? Because we just had a LeJounte video yesterday. We did Will Shepard. We did Jimmy Horn. We're about to do Travis Hunter. So we be doing it. We be doing it. Are you going to be live every Friday? Maybe not every Friday, but I am going to try to go live a little more. Definitely for sure. What's it called? Oh, I'm sorry for smacking the mic. Definitely going to be going live some more. However, for today, 2 more things got to get closed out. 2 more things got to be locked in on, and those 2 things are Travis Hunter. Okay, so and again, I'm gonna let y'all choose again. Y'all got either Travis Hunter or another Shedeur video. And the thing about the Shedeur video is we kind of have to build it together. I gotta put a few more pieces on the pie. I feel like you're kind of far away from me. I feel like you're. Hey. You feel me? We will not know. I'm not sure if we're gonna know if Will made the team. Actually, let me look it up. We're gonna look up right now if. But yeah, y'all comment either Shedeur or Travis next video. But Will Shepard. See if Will Shepard has any updates. Nope. No Will Shepard updates. No Will Shepard updates as of yet. Checking the Twitter sphere. See if there's any just general updates before I start this video. Oh, no. Actually, wow, I think this helps. I'm on top of the world. Hey. Boom, that makes it easier. That makes it easier. Sorry, I'm grabbing things, seeing if there's any updates. Any updates. Oh, no. Oh, no. All right, I don't think we got anything major. All right, what y'all saying? Oh God, somebody is watching the live that I don't think should be watching the live. All right, what we got? We got Shedeur. We got a Travis. He does all the players I watch every day. I come and look for Travis. Thank you, Stacy. Stacy out here. Hey, shout out Stacy, man. Stacy really putting it on. Do Will make? I'm not sure. I try to look up. Like I said, I had no updates for. I had no updates for Will Shepherd. Is Trevor a better cornerback or wide receiver? I want to answer that question, but if I answer that question, that means we got to do. If I answer that question, that means you have to do the Travis Hunter video. What's it called? Hey man, Stacy, you got some ops in the chat, man. Just watch your back. I think people might feel disrespected, but I appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? But there's some people out there that, you know what I'm saying, just watch yourself. You know what I mean? But I appreciate the work you do. I really do. But in all seriousness, I really do appreciate the support from all you guys. It's been great. Any more votes? Travis versus, I can make a poll, can I? I can do that. I'm fresh like that. How do I do that? How do I do that? Cornerback. Stacy says cornerback. Okay. Why shouldn't it be right here? Travis. Oh, another Travis. Interesting. We got another Travis, but we'll go Travis. We'll go Travis since so many people are engaged on Travis right now. All right. So I did make my Travis Hunter video last time, guys. Sadly, I had my power going out. Things are exploding. It was a whole entire situation. But today, I think we're going to be able to get through a few more things, get through some nice stuff here. And then have a decent time here. And then after this, one last Shedeur video just to wrap it up. And then I will let y'all go enjoy the rest of your Fridays and stop yapping at you. Except, the video that will be uploaded very soon after I record this. But not important. Not important. Let's get into it. So, hang on. I think I muted myself. Oh, yeah, no one's going to talk crazy. No, don't worry, Stacey. No one's going to talk crazy. It's all jokes. It's all jokes. I appreciate you. All right. Isaiah wants to hear it now. Isaiah wants to hear it. Dang it. Here we go. The end of really mini camp season for multiple NFL teams has been upon us. So sadly, we're going to have to watch to see any real football until late July. But luckily, late July, the passes do come on. We get a little more concrete evidence of who these players are and who they aren't. And somebody who has been absolutely captivating since high school, he's been doing this. And now he's doing it at the NFL level. Mr. Travis, I'll play both positions. Hunter, that is his official middle name. Now, obviously, a lot of people have been talking about how marvelous he's been at the cornerback position. Interestingly enough, when he started off at wide receiver, there's a lot of negative perception, which is kind of interesting. And I think the question needs to be answered kind of, is he the best cornerback or the best wide receiver on the Jags team? I don't think he's the best wide receiver on the Jags team because Brian Thomas is there, but I think he can easily be the best cornerback. But let's do it. Let's get into it. We're gonna watch a little film. We've got a few looks here, and then we also have, if I put it in here, we got him. I don't have the video, but apparently he was switching jerseys mid minicamp. So the first one he was defense, day 2 he went back to offense, and then day 3, the final day, he switched. And then after this, we'll watch a little bit of his interview too. He did like a full interview sesh. So this is where it is. I have it right here. Okay, cool. So if we have time, we can get into that. But where I want to start is just a regular old minicamp clip, huh? You know what I'm saying? And I want to speak about it. And before we even get into the conversation of wide receiver or cornerback or this or that, the reason the conversation is being had is because of the fluidity of his movements, right? You combine the fluidity of movement, the comfortability, the apparently limitless amount of energy to operate at a high level, and obviously the speed, the agility, all those things, the flexibility, the contortion ability, the focus, the football IQ. There's so many things that he does at a high level that I think that it's hard to say what position he wouldn't be good at when it comes to football, right? I think he just performs things at a very high level. And then when you talk about the cornerback and the wide receiver position, there's a lot of, you know what I'm saying, those are sister positions. Those are, you know what I'm saying, corners learn to get better from wide receivers. Wide receivers learn to get better from learning about corners, right? There's an art and a dance that happens between those two that requires that certain level of knowledge that I think, maybe aids him in being a little bit better of a corner and being a little bit better of a wide receiver. I say all that to say, with the limitless amount of physical ability that he has and athletic ability that I don't think we've seen that's somebody tell me. I don't know when we've seen a freak like this. We've seen freaks that are big and bad and fast and strong, but to be fast, strong, agile, and to be a different beast in the same animal, rest in peace, Kobe Bryant, is completely different. And the ball skills. The ball skills is really what's it called? The ball skills is really what keeps everything together. The ball skills is what makes him so captivating and so, I would even say, polarizing when you ask the question if he's a better wide receiver or cornerback. But I think at the end of the day, the main thing that's been answered is that he's an amazing player. He's got plenty of energy, and a lot of people have come away with a lot more respect of him. So let's start with Ryan Clark. So I think he has all pro written all over him. I believe the sky's the limit on Travis Hunter, but you want him to get immediate impact out of this young player. You let him play defense and let him go lock folks up. I have to agree. I have been the one that's been consistently saying, look, I think it is so much easier to have him learn defense and then have a few 10 to 15 plays on offense, right? That way he doesn't need to learn the full playbook. He only learns the whatever, the Travis Nasty package, whatever that package is. You bring him in, again, specifically for 10 to 15 plays. He only gets 5 touches on those, or 5 designated plays where he's going to get the ball. End around, hey, maybe a curl or something where you're set up, where you're the hot route. Maybe put him in the slot and get him a nice favorable matchup against a linebacker, right? Give him 3 to 5 of those, and then 10 plays where Travis Hunter is out there just running in motion. Just have him come across the field. All right, now run over across the motion and then go sit down. So get ready for defense. Like that, you need that. Call Travis Nasty. I want Travis Bluff 87 ZX whatever the Y banana. Get out there, boom, and then, you know what I'm saying, Travis Hunter does a little dance, you feel me? The defense locks up a little bit, and then you go about your day. I think that, I don't know if you noticed, I don't know if you can tell, not an NFL coach. I just came up with that on the fly, big dog. I'm just spitballing here. But I cannot spitball you a way that makes sense for him to learn the entire offensive playbook and the defensive playbook. I don't know. That's seemingly how the GM is approaching it. Seemingly how Liam Cohen is open to it. But let's hear about Liam Cohen, and let's hear what he has to say about the Jags, has to say about Travis Hunter. And again, if we have some more time, we'll get into Trevor Lawrence's thoughts about it, as well as some other Jaguars for minicamp.
Did you guys decide that we were going to make a play for Travis Hunter? This is a must-have for this Jacksonville Jaguars team. And when did you decide you were on board with the Travis Hunter experience as the head coach of the football team?
I think about a month prior to the draft, we started having some conversations, right? James came in to our office, was Tony and I sitting in here, and he said, hey, what would you guys think if we could go and make this thing happen? And when you go through the evaluation process of Travis on both sides of the ball, and you'd say, yeah, I would take him as a DB and I would take him as a receiver, right? And so those conversations started to become a little bit more realistic about a month prior. And then, okay, you have to go through all the different scenarios, right? What happens when we give up this pick? What do we end up having to do to pivot? And ultimately, it just came down to, look, we want to get a player that wants to come in here and obviously be the best player that he can be. He feels as though he can do some phenomenal things in this league on both sides of the ball, which we appreciate. And we want to be able to give him that platform, while also knowing that when your best players are some of your hardest workers and the guys that truly love the game, that love every aspect of it, that eat, breathe, and sleep this thing, that's who he is. And we do have a lot of those guys in this building. But continuing to add to that is what was really important, and those are the things that he brings.
And, I think it's important, extremely important to have a quarterback, or not quarterback, because synonymous, a head coach, rather, that is extremely confident in what, their young stars being able to produce, right? It's easy just to say that what he's doing is ambitious and it's a lot and it's whatever, but I think it goes another level to ensure that regardless if that's a large idea or whatever, or a plan, that, hey, there's a confidence there, right? It doesn't matter if it's crazy. It matters how you go about achieving it so it doesn't look crazy when it's achieved. You know what I mean? So I think that they can realistically change the NFL forever. If you produce a player that you already saw the Felton dude. I don't know if I put that out there, but they had some dude from right here. They had some dude from the what's it called? The Packers, who's a wide receiver, I think a second-year wide receiver, trying to play defensive back. And obviously, they just cut Jair Alexander. They were having some they have some very big question marks for secondary when it comes to the Packers. And they're like, well, I mean, how about we just take somebody who's good at catching balls and put them on defense? Yo, I don't think Travis Hunter grows on trees, dog. I just don't think that's how it happens. Sadly. You know what I'm saying? But continuing on, before we get into a little bit of the tape and a few more things, let's hear what Trevor Lawrence. Obviously, we've done videos on Trevor Lawrence, the expectations for him coming into year 5, I believe. He's got his big extension. He's been paid quite handsomely, and at this point, he's starting to reach Justin Herbert levels of he ain't done nothing much for us, and I want to see more from you. So let's hear it from him.
He's grown a lot. You know, there's a lot obviously being thrown on him, being a high pick, you know, playing both ways. There's a lot, you know, I can understand being drafted high in the expectations, but as far as I didn't play both ways. So that's another world. I think he's done a great job. Obviously, this is going to be a big opportunity for him during this break. You know, you want to get your mind right and be ready to go and be rejuvenated for camp, but you also got to really be prepared and be ready. And he's got some time to kind of get in his playbook and learn the system. I'm excited to spend some time with him this summer. You know, we plan on getting together quite a bit and throwing, getting some time in down, but also just talking through the system. And I got no concerns about him. I'm really excited just to see him continue to get better. And I mean, he's a special player on both sides of the ball.
On both sides of the ball, and that's been a consistent thing. Like, it doesn't seem like, as much as the conversation has been kind of centered about what should he do, what should he start at, again, that confidence. Everybody from the Jags are like, he is both. Like, he is Travis Hunter. He's not a wide receiver that plays corner. He's not a corner that plays wide receiver. He's Travis Hunter. Like, I don't know what else to say. And that's at the National Football League. There's still people who are astonished by it. So here's 10-year NFL veteran Eric Murray, speaking of the confidence there, talking about Travis Hunter playing both ways. This is an NFL vet. Now, and I want to stress this. Because, again, I've been watching football way longer than I've been making and yapping about football on the internet, right? I value lived experience and a lot of different things when you speak on certain perspectives on things, right? 10 years in the league, I don't care if it's Patrick. Wait, has Patrick Mahomes been in the league for 10 years? Sorry, I was about to be like, how old am I? I don't care if it's Patrick Mahomes. He is Eric, maybe because, you know, maybe he's played more Super Bowls. We can get into semantics, but my point is, someone who has been in the league for 10 years, has seen the ups and downs, who has seen generational athlete, non-generational, overrated, non-overrated, so many flavors. His perspective on things, it means a lot. You know what I mean? It's not just because, his name's not big, you've never heard of Eric Murray, or you know, maybe you haven't, or maybe you have. I think it's more important. That 10 years, that means something to me. That's a stamp of approval that not many have in many jobs. Ask how many go around, unless it's someone older, you know what I'm saying, who's been doing their thug deals for a long time. Even successful people. Ask how many people have been at jobs for 10 years. Just saying. It's even rare for the NFL. Come on now. Let's hear it.
It's natural for him. It's just very natural. I think every time he steps foot in that white jersey on our side, you see these flash plays, and it's like, well, he probably, you know, he just got here. He probably really don't know what's going on, but, you know, that's just his true athleticism and who he is, and it's just real easy for him.
How unique is it? How crazy is it that yesterday he was on defense, now he's on offense, and you're lining up against him? Yeah,
I've never seen it before, other than, you know, in high school or something like that. So to be able to do that at the highest level is one of the most impressive feats I've seen in a while.
Wow. So, again, it's easy, and y'all can go back. One of my favorites, I don't know how many of y'all be TikToking, but them kids got a new TikTok trend, open the vault, and they're like, you know, you like the old LeBron videos and stuff like that. I think that stands out to me a lot in those is that, like, when LeBron was coming into the league, his teammates was not messing with him. Like, it was already like, and some 18-year-old's not going to come in here, blah, blah, blah. He ain't going to be the leader of the thing, right? And I know it's not the same thing. I know it's apples to oranges. I know it's not the same thing. It's not a fair comparison. But just thinking about, like, that vibe, and this is, like, the exact opposite. This is a 10-year vet who is like stamping, oh yeah, not only can he do it because he's my teammate. Dog, I ain't never seen this in my life. I've been here for 10 years. I ain't seen nothing like that boy. 12. Y'all be safe. 12 out here. 12 out here now. Let's get a little bit. I want to hear from Travis Hunter. I couldn't get just the singular one. I don't want to go too far, but this is a small little snippet. I don't want to go too deep in it because I want to go more into these interviews. So we're gonna go here. We're gonna go Travis last. Let's hear Jags rookie running back speak about Travis Hunter, and then we're gonna go to Travis Hunter.
Yeah, seeking greatness. I know he's going to be great, on both sides of the ball, knowing that he's going to play at the highest level that he can and, help the team win at all times. And, just see that every day is unbelievable.
And then here we go. Here is Travis.
It's been very easy for me. The guys come in and I bring the juice every day. Always got a smile on my face, making everyone laugh when I get the chance. So we just been fun, having fun, and just being kids out here just loving and living our dream. It's very, very great experience. I know I can't let them down. I got to go out there and work, and I know they got my back. I ain't buy a house yet.
Okay.
Oh.
Did you look at 16 in one day? Is that?
Nah, it's not true.
Oh.
It's been very easy.
Hey,
for me. The guys come in and I bring the juice every day.
I want to talk about two things. First, I want to talk about The Juice. I think The Juice is a good movie. I think the juice that he brings has been a topic of conversation. Look, Travis Hunter is going to be controversial because of how great of an athlete he is, right? I think there's going to be continued conversation about what he does and the way he does things, right? There's just so many eyes focused on him that the judgment is going to find ways to continue to evolve on him, right? So the fact that y'all try to pretend like dancing in hot Jacksonville, right? That's what it is. Hot Florida weather. Y'all try to act like that's a bad thing. Y'all try to act like having a helmet on is a bad thing. I'm sorry. My roommate is upstairs grinding ice cubes. That is one of his hobbies. I apologize. But I'm just yell over it. But for Travis Hunter, what's it called? It's important to realize that everything besides that is also going to be controversial. You know what I mean? So the house stuff, the marriage stuff, the prenup stuff, the XYZ, that can be controversial, right? But that's just aside, because what he's doing, playing both sides, that in itself is going to be controversial. In the same way that the whole Abdul Carter thing and wanting the number and how that worked out, like there's just going to be an issue and a problem when it gets to those certain levels, and you're just trying to start reaching and breaking ground that no one in the NFL has done. People don't like change. People don't like something different and new, and they don't know how to handle that. So I do have to say that's why it means a lot that someone like Trevor Lawrence, who understands what expectations can do, right, who knows what it means having expectations from a high school level, right, he's saying, hey, the guy's going to be a guy. The energy, I actually love it. The energy is keeping us going. Brian Thomas, hey, joking jokes about it. Hey, he's dancing around doing all this other stuff, but it's positive. 10-year vet. I've never seen anything like this in my life. Head coach, he's that guy. This is the level of confidence that I think Travis Hunter needs. It's not just about Travis Hunter, adding the spark to this team and adding whatever to this team. It's about how does this team accept him, and the fact that it's been arms wide open. I think it's going to cause some problems for y'all. I think it's going to cause some real problems. And as an AFC South enjoyer, as a man who happens to have a Texans insignia right on my large forehead. And by the way, some of y'all said I was bald. I'm not bald. I just got a big ass forehead. Okay, let's get that out the way. Okay, all right. That's a problem for me. I don't like that. I don't like that the Titans look good. I don't like that the Jags look good. And they got a few Jags or Colorado Buffaloes, but I think it's phenomenal and absolutely miraculous what Travis Hunter does and continues to do. And I think even more important, the fact that the confidence is with his teammates, confidence with his head coach, clearly confidence with his GM, and a lot more to come as well. We are doing this live, so to end off the video, I do want to read a few of the live comments. And if we have any extra time, I did make a Travis Hunter video where y'all had a lot of comments to say too. So if I get into that, we can do that. If not, I'll just make that a separate video. So what's the chat saying? What is the chat saying? So Isaiah says, I think the problem with Travis is the team and coaches won't be able to put him in the best spots for success. Okay. They don't know how to use a player like him. That's interesting. It is a new regime. So there can be some, some problems trying to get everything going in the right direction. Isaiah also says, I think he doesn't need to learn defense. Dion and the Buffalo coaching staff has taught him all. Now, as much as we're pro Dion over here and we're pro Colorado, we are also pro realism, right? So we have to also agree that it's not necessarily Travis Hunter doesn't know how to play defense, is that he needs to learn the defensive schemes of the Jacksonville Jaguars, right? I'm not familiar with their defense again, it's a new regime, so I don't know what defense they're going to run. Are they going to go 3-4-4-3? Are they going to be zone heavy, man heavy? Are they going to be putting Travis on an island? Is Travis going to be playing some slot corner? These are things that have yet to be seen. And I think when we see them, we can start kind of making some more of those assumptions. Stacy said, Isaiah, that's true. Okay. Travis is better at cornerback, even though he's a good wide receiver. That's what Kawan says. I'm not mad at that. Travis Hunter is a ball hawk. He tracks the ball amazingly. When it's in the air, he will have issues with bigger wide receivers, which Isaiah, that is okay. You're pretty fair there, because that's the big point, and that's been my biggest issue with the dime or slot corner position. You've seen it go up in value so much with the rise of the box safety coming in, right? Because you can use an X player as your slot. You can use that X player, out there as your dime. You can do different things now in the box when it comes to coverage players. Putting Travis Hunter in that traffic as a 6 foot, strong enough, but I don't want him to get washed out by tight ends. I don't want him getting forced into the run game unnecessarily. Not that I don't think he can handle himself, but to Isaiah's point, I don't want him stuck on tight ends if he's working in the slot. Even though I think he has the flexibility and change of direction to be an amazing slot corner, I think he can shut it down. But what is that going to do for him longevity wise? And that's where the conversation really comes about utilizing him right. It's not that he's not a one player. It's like, okay, well, if I'm focused here, am I going to let him just be on an island and then he can't be used anywhere in the interior? Well, then you don't get to use him like Pat Surtain. Pat Surtain gets lined up everywhere. Okay, well, if I only line him on the inside, do I not get to, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of conversation, a lot of questions that need to be answered to utilize him in the best way possible. But yeah, I think some good points are being made, though. But he can cut the field in half. Yes, he can. He can cut the field. He's very rangy as a corner. I think the offense should be used like how the Texans use Tank Dell. You mean take the top off with Tank? Come on now. Hey, man, I wish Tank gets back, man. I hope he's going to be all right. Tighten up. That's what Steve says. Dominic says this is year 10 for Pat. HD Hall, he says Travis going to give a lane for himself. Giovanni says can't hear it. I guess it was pretty low. Sometimes they do be low. If you fish trap, I don't know what that is. Tisha. Oh, shout out to Tisha. Tisha 420. Travis's wife is about to intercept money and run back to her family. All right, we got to start wrapping it up, guys. I appreciate y'all watching for the YouTube video. Come join me live when we're going to be doing all types of crazy things and stuff like that. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, man. Like the video if you like it. Dislike if you don't like it. Subscribe if you enjoy football content. Continue to be great, and we'll see you next time. As for my live people, I'm going to continue reading y'all's comments real quick. Y'all be wilding, man. Y'all can't be wilding while I'm recording the video. Bro, I like your content, though. Real clean and honest. I appreciate you, Brandon. I appreciate y'all supporting everybody live. I cannot thank y'all enough. I know I've thanked in a few different videos, 25,000 subscribers. I think that's major. I know it's nothing big. You know what I'm saying? I know there's people out there with big numbers. I think 25K is pretty cool. And a lot of those have come recently. So appreciate y'all rocking and rolling with me. Appreciate y'all rocking with me right now. One more video we're going to get into. We're going to end this with, what's it called? We're going to end it with one more Shedeur video. But before we do that, I'm going to finish reading y'all's comments. What else we got? We got like your content. Stacy says, I already said Stacy. I already got Giovanni. Please not that mess. Oh, what mess is going on? I don't know what mess is going on. With as many TV timeouts, he won't get tired. Oh, that's a good point. Dion has made that point that it's a slower game. I mean, the defense is defense at the end of the day. Stop the offense from getting the ball. Again, in theory, yes. But at the NFL, I would hate for him to be in a bad spot because he doesn't know the defense, right? That's something that you don't want. And that's why I keep talking about, hey, you're just going to leave him on an island. Because VI born and bred, I believe I'm saying that right. To VI Born and Bred's point, if Travis Hunter, if they just say, hey, when he's on defense, he's just going to be the sole corner. We're just going to leave him on an island. That's it. Like he's not going to be integrated into any match coverages. If he lines up out there, he is manned one-on-one. We know that. Now, that would have to be a rule, and this is kind of goes back to what I was talking about in the video. That would be a rule that would have to be changed about the Jaguars defense instead of Travis Hunter changing the Jaguars defense, right? Which is fine, but it's another one of those hurdles you kind of have to get through if you want to best utilize Travis Hunter, even if it's just one side of the ball in that aspect, because you know you're going to use him on another side of the ball. Okay, so it says Stacy was referring to the wife comment, I'm sure. Oh, okay. Okay, my fault. SSG Idiox says, but think the game on the line and the offense has a long drive down. I think they may need to be strategic. Maybe not play in third quarter for crunch time. That's when it gets real crazy. When you start talking about, like, does Travis Hunter need to have a quarter off? So do you potentially lose one of your better wide receivers and potentially one of your better defensive backs for a whole quarter so he can rest? That would be interesting. It's an interesting conversation though. Like it's an interesting problem to solve. You feel me? VI till I die. That's what my man Isaiah said. And then Tisha says, mind the business that pays you. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the whole getting into, Travis's personal life. There's enough football to talk about, dog. Like I promise you, there's enough football wise to talk about, to not talk about that type of silliness. You feel me? All right, let's end it up. Yeah, I think I've been yapping long enough. This is the last video we're gonna do today. If y'all like these live streams, again, we can come right back. Here's what I want to do. I want to start with, we're gonna go all the way back. I've got a big not list, but it's a card, and it has it's got so many stuff on it. And it just, as I was collecting it through, all right, boom. I've been collecting through the years, and all of this starts really back in the draft. I need to find it. Here it is. It's right here. Okay, here we go. Boom. Bow. So here are the actual lies. We got to actually have the lies if we're going to, you know what I'm saying? Boom. Here it is. Here's the big lie. Oh, that's a good song, but we don't talk about him anymore. Post Malone. Everybody shout out to him. What's it called? What else? We got more lies. Don't worry. And then along with lies, I also want to have some stuff that, maybe stuff that did, cause some problems for him. You know what I'm saying? Because we could be honest here. We can be truthful. We don't have to have a FP1. Let's see. By the way, if you're an F1 fan, checking out FP1 right now. Oh, looks like Hamilton is in P5. He's about to pit out right now. He's on softs. We're looking like 113. Max Verstappen. Ugh. Mad Max is leading. Are those the Alpines at 2 and 3? Carlos Sainz and Albon at 2 and 3. But again, this is FP. It's still practicing. This is the last 30 seconds. I think Hamilton's gonna get one more lap. We got Russell in P4. Lando Norris P7. Hadjar P6. Lawson P8. Leclerc P10. So again, it's only first practice. So we'll see how things progress. But right now, Verstappen fastest lap on the day, 1:13.193. All right, back to football. Oh wait, hold up. Okay. All right. Just had to give you an FP update. All right, let's get into the Shedeur stuff. I want to get some more lies. Here. What are there any more lies? I already have that. What's it called? Okay, so that's the big thing. The big thing was when people said that, and then I also want to point out the fact that when they said it, This came out twice because it also came out Todd McShay, if I can look it up. Todd McShay, he said something I remember, and if we can find it, Todd McShay heard from 2 times we're looking at about that. Shador Sanders. Yeah, boom. Here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Boom. And then Shedeur, and then I gotta get this quote. There was someone who said Shador Sanders made them feel small. I need to find it. Let me see. Sanders made me feel small. Where is it at? The draft or whatever. All right, is it on Fox? Is it here? Here we go. This is from Fox News. Okay. So now that we have everything, all of the lies, man. And then also Dan Orlovsky. Dan Orlovsky at one point said some nasty stuff as well. So we're going to grab his clip. And then after that, again, oh, I know what I need. I need that Tommy Rees clip. This might be a long video. This might be long. I need Tommy Rees. But first, before I get Tommy Rees, let me get Dan Orlovsky. And you thinking it's a big... That should be banging, dog. Warren Sapp, Shedeur Seahawks. Mel Kiper. Oh, shout out to Joe Klatt. I forgot he did that. That was really Joe Klatt. He was really okay, maybe I don't have it. Oh my God. Hey, flexing is a big I just want Orlovsky. That's all I need. But I don't think I need Orlovsky. Let's get up out of here, Doug. Let me get the one where he did Shador Sanders. Yeah, boom. Give me Tommy Rees, dog. If not, I can just find this one. It's not here? Where's the video at? Yo. Tommy. Where's Tommy Rees? Oh, okay. Well, that's not what I wanted to come up. All right. Why can't I find this dude, Doug? I'm looking for the Tommy Rees. Didn't we watch that? We literally watched that. Sorry about it. We're still hunting something down. Oh wait, is this the wrong one? Yeah, it's the wrong one. I need. Sorry, I told you I gotta put the video together, guys. Oh, I didn't know I could open a new tab like that. Back in the day. Oh, I found it, and then I ran away from it. Where's that? Oh, I did not find it. That is Kenny Pickett. That is Kenny the Man Pickett. Wow. All right, maybe I don't get to use this video. Where is that video at, Doug? There we go. Found it. All right, I got what I need, man. We can prove all the lies wrong, man. Boom. The only thing else is a bad teammate. Bad teammate. Shador Sanders, a bad teammate? Man, damn. You got Joe Flacco. All right, boom. Oh, there's one other thing. Oh, no, I have it over here, don't I? No, I don't have it over here. Where is it at? What the hold on. Let me get my breath. What? Dog, where? Oh, here it is. The last thing I want is to show y'all. I want to have some proof that, maybe Shedeur is thought of that way because of him throwing his wrist up, maybe. But other than that, dog, I ain't got nothing for you. This took a little too long to find all this stuff, dog. Oh, I'm gonna have that too. This is what this video is kind of gonna be a little bit. It's gonna be kind of that. Okay. Now, the last thing I need. There's one other one where he puts his wrist up. Oh. There we go. Okay, cool. Now we can record this. Now we can start this. Y'all ready? Last video, the other stream. Thank y'all so much for supporting the stream. It's been great so far. We're about to record this video. Hop up out of here. Shador Sanders, you're probably tired of hearing that name at this point, but as rookie minicamp has ended, a lot of narratives were able to be put to bed, and some of those narratives were brought about because of Shedor's fall. And I think it was a lot of people trying to, make sense of the fact that Shedeur was projected to be at worst a early second round quarterback, maybe, or, late first round, and then went all the way to the fifth. That reasoning had people saying that he was this, he was that, pointing to some of the lies that at this point I think have been are at least proven wrong to any person who wants to put their name on the comment. So what we're going to do is let's talk about some of the lies that started this thing. And I want to point out something important too, that if y'all go back and watch my videos during the draft season and during the pre-draft process, I told y'all, do not believe anything. Don't believe anything that you see, right? Because once you start believing those things, right, all of those lies will just be used against you. So that's all this is. These are lies that are used against people to set certain things up to ensure that certain narratives can be pushed. So let's go back. Let's take you back. So first things first, this one was one of my favorites. So another long time AFC executive echoed the sentiment, and we're going to get into the whole, because y'all know what I'm talking about, the arrogant, he doesn't want to be there. But this is my favorite quote. It didn't go great in our interview. He wants to dictate what he's going to do and what's best for him. He makes you feel small. He makes you feel small. That is what gave it up. That's why I want to start right there, because when I was even doing this, we were laying all this out, that comment right there, it's like, why did you say it? Why did you think it was smart to say that a personal reason that Shador Sanders made you feel small, or that he can't do that? Because what does that have to do with the meritocracy of football? Nothing, right? Absolutely nothing. So let's talk about that. Obviously, the obvious lie, or maybe not obvious lie, but the assertion is, one longtime assistant coach said his time with Sanders was the worst formal interview I've ever been in my life. He's so entitled. Now, I wanna point this out. We don't know exactly how this quote is given, but we gotta be specific on how he's putting the quote together. He was talking about an interview. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about interview. So worst formal interview. The reason he says he's so entitled, he takes unnecessary sacks. He never plays on time. He has horrible body language. He blames teammates. But the biggest thing is he's not that good. Okay. In this right here, and this is why I say narratives are crazy. Was there any proof? Again, this is anonymous, so you can prove it. Was there any proof of being a bad interview? None. He says it's a bad interview. He says he's so entitled. He gives no reasons why he was so entitled. And he gave no reasons why the interview was bad. And then he goes on to list things about his play, which is separate. It sounds like someone had a personal... I don't know. It just sounds like somebody got their feelings hurt. Like when you put all these comments together, it really sounds like... So for the people who are saying collusion... Oh, don't say collusion. Dog, somebody clearly got their feelings hurt. Because you can't start off by, oh, dog, this is the worst formal interview ever in my life, and give no examples of why it was the worst interview in your life. You go on to say he sacks, blames teammates, which the blames teammates thing, again, is a lie. That's a lie, and we've already debunked that lie. But how can I trust somebody's comments who's commenting lies? He throws his teammates under the bus. Do you talk about the Nebraska postseason? I've done a video on that. Sorry, if you watch the full thing, he's not. He was asked a question about the run game. So are you telling me I'm supposed to trust somebody who takes clips out of context and uses those to paint him? And again, my point being, if it was the worst interview of all time, why even bring up bad? Oh, he's bad here, teammates. There, you don't have to bring that up because it was the worst ever. What did he do? But let's continue. Let's continue. And then here's the one that we just read. It didn't go great. He wants to dictate what he's going to do and what's best for him. He makes you feel small. Even some of Sanders fans expressed disappointment he didn't take a bigger step forward as a senior. I liked him the year before, and NFC GM said they did change coordinators. It just felt different. It felt less athletic, less arm talent. Everything felt less. If you're talking about this year's tape versus Jackson Dart and Shedeur, I don't think it was particularly close. When people started comparing Jackson Dart to Shador Sanders, I had to be reminded that oftentimes NFL people don't watch college, right? When you're just watching tape, sometimes, or just watching highlights, which some of y'all do, I don't think you get a full scope of the feel of the game sometimes. Because for the love of everything that's holy, I go watch Jackson Dart pee down his leg against Florida. Please. The only time I was like, well, not the only time, but the same disappointment I had in Shedeur, which there is times that there's disappointment in Shedeur. Look, that's fine, right? It's funny enough, was the bowl game, was the Alamo Bowl. I feel like he shouldn't even play that, to be honest with you. I think that one game, if I'm being honest with you, I think that one game, because he did take a lot of sacks, even more unnecessary than usual in the Alamo Bowl. Even more, it seemed like he was playing extra hero ball. It was kind of weird. I think that hurt him, and everyone just had a bad taste in their mouth. Oh, they got smacked by BYU. He's a bad quarterback. I really do think that there was just no due diligence done, because when your thought process is, oh, they did change coordinators, it just felt different, less athletic, less arm talent. That doesn't even make sense. This is the same season in which not only did Shedeur throw, was that 45-yard touchdown right over the top of the end zone to Will Shepherd against UCF. Not only that, but then the Hail Mary rolling to his left in the rain. That was 50 air yards. He threw for 4,500. Hey, Johnny Unitas golden arm. But again, that is when you read these in hindsight, it don't even make sense, dog. I'm sorry. Now that I'm going back and reading this stuff, it seems like somebody made a troll account. And then like an NFL Centel, and somebody was like, "Oh, well, yeah, that's what it is." And let's hear Todd McShay talk about it. Before we get into the debunking of the lies, let's hear Todd McShay.
The two people that I spoke to were in meetings and had these individual meetings that I just laid out to you, what they are, who's in there, and why they're important. Teams in the top 10 drafting that need a quarterback. The two people that I spoke to in these positions left the meeting feeling like Shador Sanders was not overly concerned with what they thought of him. They had a 15-minute meeting with him, and when they were done, they both said in different ways, different words, that they did not feel like Shador Sanders cared all that much about what that organization thought of him. Fascinating, right?
Right. And that's not said in any kind of a positive light, correctly. It wasn't like they came in there and he knew who he was and he wasn't concerned about impressing us. It's more of a negative tone, the way you're saying that, right? You're saying it in a way that he did not come in with, ready to impress, ready to show us what kind of a young man he is, what kind of a leader he can be, all of the positive things. That's what you're saying, correct?
This was not okay. I'll make a joke in a second. But I do. All right, so let's go through this in the right order. A couple of the quotes that I put in there. One said that it wasn't a professional approach. One person that I talked to said the best way I can describe it is it just wasn't it wasn't a professional approach. Shador Sanders did not take a professional approach to this interview. The other person I talked to said he wasn't taking it seriously at all. I didn't get the sense that he was taking it seriously. So when you hear it wasn't a professional approach.
I want to point out something about those comments. Again, we keep hearing these comments, right? And this is what we talk about. We talk about something that is just kind of just in the air, right? What does being professional mean? And I know we know what being professional means, right? Obviously. But again, unless he was in those interviews being disrespectful, which Todd McShay is going to later talk and say, actually, it was nothing disrespectful. So if it's not disrespectful, but it's unprofessional in a meeting, what is it? Shout out to the 300 concurrent. Appreciate y'all in the live chat. What is it then? It just rubbed you the wrong way? Because if it's not, if to be unprofessional, at least in my eyes, the way that I was risen. Wow, I'm not Jesus. I'm sorry. Hey, shout out to him, but I'm not him. I was not risen. But the way that I grew up, I should say, right, was, if you're gonna be unprofessional, you're gonna disrespect. That's disrespecting my time. That's disrespecting this place that we're at. That's disrespecting the area. To not come to a place prepared to handle your business is, again, to be disrespectful. So I'm confused as to, hey, he's just not. It's almost like you're not taking it serious. I don't feel like you're taking this serious. That's like something that you say to manipulate somebody in an argument. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Nah, you don't even want to have this conversation right now. That's like some annoying manipulative. Nah, you don't even want to. I don't even think. He's not disrespectful. He didn't call you out your name. He didn't do anything. I just didn't feel. I don't know. I wasn't. You know what I'm saying? I just felt like he was, and if I can translate to my best ability, because we know Shedeur, we've been watching Shedeur. Was he very laid back? Was he not tense in the moment? Because this is something that he's been doing since he was, I don't know what. When did Coach Prime get a reality TV show? Like he been doing this. So the fact that we have to now pretend after all this, I don't want to call it slander, but slander, after all the slander he's seen, we have to come back and act surprised that, oh, wow, he is respectful? Who would have thunk? I'll let him finish, and we'll go on to the proof.
He wasn't taking it all that seriously. That's not the interview that you're looking. It's not the response you're looking for from a potential suitor, from somewhere you plan to go play. Now, I think it's also important, because I'm sure people pull clips and have all sorts of things to say. It's very important, and hear me when I say this. There was no bad behavior. There was nothing disrespectful said or done. There was no kind of altercation. And it wasn't like Good Will Hunting when Ben Affleck went in for Matt Damon and put his feet up on the desk and yelled, "Retainer! Retainer!"
Now, and again, this is a different culture, so they got their own jokes. They go with the Good Will Hunting. I've never seen that movie. But a lot of us were making the joke about Bobby Shmurda, you know what I'm saying, running in there, I'm coming in, I'm a rap to him. Like he had to be doing that. So two things. First off, because we're about to get into some proof. First off, again, like I alluded to, specifically, nothing disrespectful. No, and I said this back when this first happened, when this video first came out in March. Nothing disrespectful. No confrontation. He even points out, but it wasn't nothing like he was so crazy and it was that disrespectful. So I'm asking you, what is so bad? If this is the intel that we got from, again, let's just be the worst case scenario. You think Shedeur is a second round quarterback. Let's just worst case scenario. Second round quarterback. Cool. You're telling me an interview in which they say it's the worst one ever. It's the worst of all time. But no altercation happened. There was no disrespect. There was nothing over the top. Even though I know there was the headphone claim or whatever, I haven't been able to find anything reputable. At least Todd McShay is saying it. I know he's saying it anonymously. I haven't really seen anything reputable. He had headphones on during the meeting. I haven't seen that one. But that's another thing. Headphones on during the meeting. Which I have to admit, headphones on during the meeting, that's disrespectful. I mean, that's unprofessional. But it's not. But you see how it's not adding up. That don't make no sense. Y'all remember when, was it Reuben Foster? Y'all remember when Reuben Foster like punched somebody at the combine? That was fucking crazy. Oh my God. The people who are in the NFL, and we have to we're over here picking and looking for, I don't know. He kind of hurt my feelings. Reuben Foster was punching NFL staff, dog. What are we talking about? Are we serious? What's the conversation that we're having? So these are the lies. Those are the lies. Here are some, I'm not sure if I would say proof, but here are maybe some of the only reasons there, because there's only a few reasons. Some of the only reasons why you might have a problem with Shedeur. This is what y'all got a problem with. Let's be honest. You don't like that he throws his wrist up at these boys. You don't like how competitive he is. So when y'all talk about being humbled or humbling, I want it to be known that these are people who don't watch Shedeur. because he's always been humble in post-game interviews. He's always been humble in interacting with teammates. But after a win, after a in-state rivalry that was talking about your dad, oh yeah, we gonna get it popping. Yeah, because I don't know if y'all remember, but we play football. I'm not one of those people that say this generation, but my God, I'm sure all those GMs are older than me. Y'all are soft. Because there's no way that somebody who has the balls to go up to Arizona State student station and be like, hey, yo, what's down? Someone who has the confidence pregame, I'm not going to be scared. I'm the quarterback. I'm walking up to you. I heard y'all was talking all that. I'm coming to your face. What's up? Is that what you don't want on your team? You don't want people who want to get after it? So, again, those might be the only things, maybe they're mad about this. Maybe they're mad that Deion Sanders said he'll be a top 5 pick. Maybe they're mad about that. Maybe that's the reason why the lies happen. But as we go through our proof, this video's getting a little long. We only got like 3 minutes to go through our proof, but we got time. As we go through our proof, we see things like this. Jackson Dart's terrible OTAs left fans in disbelief about skipping Shador Sanders. Now that's a perspective piece, right? That could be a little different. How about he gets on the Browns and this is what they got to say. It's hard not to like that guy. So if you're going to say he's entitled and arrogant, I know this is kind of off to the side. You're going to say he's entitled and arrogant. That don't add up. How about what's it called? How does Shedeur feel?
I know every day there's room for improvement in a lot of different areas in my game, so I never feel, I would say, full. I would say I'm always hungry. And there's a lot of aspects in football that you could get better at. It's weight room, it's knowing the plays, it's physically, it's throwing different. You can always get precise on more things. So I feel like I put in my day's work, but I know I'm far from where I want to be.
Yeah, because that sounds entitled. That sounds arrogant. That sounds like someone that makes you feel small, doesn't it? Yeah. How about Tommy Reese? We say he's entitled, he's arrogant, and then on top of that, because I know the other thing with the Giants one, which again is wrong. He doesn't know the play. They called him out. He got upset because they set a trap for him and he can't read offenses. Well, what does his offensive coordinator say?
He's worked his tail off. He's really putting in a lot of work, as was like all those guys are. But you could tell on the mental side of the game and learning the system and calling it and having that rhythm to it. He's put a lot of work and time and effort into that. And then when you do that, the game starts to slow down and you can focus on finding completions. And he's done a nice job of that as camp progressed.
So, NFL offensive coordinator with only a few reps in practice. What does he have to say? Oh yeah, he just done everything off the field to become better. Don't know if that's arrogant. Don't know if that's all these other things. But the weak arm, I clearly can't spell. What is going on? You're not supposed to look at that. The weak arm. Oh, he put that to bed. And here is this is Kurt, by the way. This is Kurt Benkirk. He had some things to say about Shedeur. He thought Shedeur wasn't even a top 5 quarterback in the draft class. And he's impressed. Because y'all tried to lie and say he didn't have any arm talent. Okay. Y'all tried to lie and say he don't got no zip. I mean, that one was a little fumbly, so, But anyway, y'all tried to lie and say he can't get the ball to where it needs to be. Come on, dog. Don't do that. Don't do that. And then let's talk about being a bad teammate. Is Shador Sanders a bad teammate? How can he be?
It's real fun having those guys in the room, though, because we all are quarterbacks. We all feel, similar ways, but nobody, always talks about it. So Joe's the old guy in the room. So I joke with Joe all the time. Every day I see him. And Kenny, he had his experiences throughout his career overall, so then we just share a lot of the same things. And Dylan, of course, we're the same age group, Those guys are older. So me and them, we just say age group, so we just talk about experiences, you know, just in college and everything so far.
That's dope. But you know, that's a bad teammate. This is the bad teammate.
That's good.
Oh, this was too long. Sorry, you took too long. This is the bad teammate.
Right there. Him.
He was not asking quarterback one was, but clearly he is meshing with the teammates. He's has jokes with the teammates. He is not a bad teammate. I know y'all saw a tweet one time. I know you might be judging him off of random videos you see, but over these Brown OTAs and over these mini camps, looking at these claims now, like how insane does this look now? How insane does it look like the fact that all of this happened based off of two coordinators with no there was no football. I mean, obviously there was a football critique, but you start the football critique off talking about how bad the interview was. That don't even make no sense. That don't make no sense. A lot of double negatives. I'm gonna just leave these stats that mean nothing. Apparently, I'm gonna just leave these up here. Number one, completion percentage all time. 4,000 yards, 356. You're bored. Y'all are bored of seeing how great Shedeur is. But as long as you know how great Shedeur is, I will continue to make more videos because there's more lies and more things to be debunked. If there's something in particular you want me to see or a certain lie that you want me to address, go ahead and comment it down below. Like the video if you like it. Dislike if you don't like it. Subscribe if you enjoy football content, college football content, all football content of all shapes, sizes, forms, and fashions. I really appreciate y'all rocking with me. Continue to be great. Continue to be amazing. We'll see you next time. Peace. All right. Yeah, we're done here, stream. We're about to wrap this thing on up. I'm about to edit some videos. I will have a video up today. Obviously, I'm shooting for 4:45 when I usually upload. I'm gonna have at minimum 2 videos up today. Probably a Shador, maybe a Travis as well. But I cannot thank y'all enough. The 331 is that the peak? No, I think we hit 350 at one point. So absolutely phenomenal stream. I think this is one of the higher streams that I've had in a very long time. You're getting some wings at Magic City later. I am not a fan of Magic City wings. What's it called? They're not bad though. They're not bad. But I again cannot thank y'all enough for rocking and rolling with me. That looks like y'all want more streams, so we can definitely do more streams if that's something that y'all want to do. You know what I'm saying? Get it working, get it rocking, get it rolling. But y'all just continue to be great, man. I cannot thank y'all enough for the support. Thank y'all so much for 25K. My man 5% thanking me for the stream. I thank you for thanking me for thanking and being in the stream. Just continue to be great. Continue to be awesome. Look for those uploads coming soon. And thank y'all again. I'm just gonna keep thanking y'all. Thank y'all doing some great things. Y'all doing phenomenal things. We will see you next time, man. Go be great.